wanna go to war with me, cause I'm a bad motherfucker. Good citizen, don't play, ain't got time to entertain any sucker. Camera in hand, yeah, I'm exposing the scene, shining light on the dark, so you know what I mean. You don't want war with me, I'm standing tall. Got a whole damn army, we're ready for the call. The people hold the power, we're taking a stand. If you're ready for a battle, better come with a plan.
PoliceRecord.com. I'm gonna put your fucking face right up there. And I'm gonna sue you. And because you don't have qualified immunity. I'm letting you know I'm gonna sue you. You have no qualified immunity. If you are scared, get a different job.
But I'm here to reveal, we don't promote violence, but we know how to deal. You don't want war with me, I'm standing tall. Got a whole damn army, we're ready for the call. The people hold the power, we're taking a stand. If you're ready for a battle, better come with a plan. Truth on our side, we're fighting for rights. When the darkness comes creeping, we'll bring forth the lights. No fear in our hearts, we'll rise up and shout. Justice on our minds, there's no way we'll back down. So if you want war, know we're ready to go. With unity and strength, we'll steal the show. We're the voice of the voiceless, the force in the streets. Together we're unstoppable, we won't accept defeat. You don't want war with me, I'm standing tall. Got a whole damn army, we're ready for the call. The people hold the power, we're taking a stand. If you're ready for a battle, better come with a plan. So keep your eyes wide and know the truth's our shield. In this fight for justice, we'll never yield. You don't want to go to war, don't step to me, cause I'm a bad motherfucker and I fight for the free.
Yeah, most people understand when cops kill people. I mean, it happens every day, right?
No, you're taking words right.
No, I mean, it does. It happens every day. You guys are pussies. You're scared of your own fucking shadows. What's up, everybody? Tonight we got Rocky Ford here with us tonight. We got you people, John DeNicola. Good to see you guys. Everybody in chat, Gregory, Porter Farmer, Scales. We're going to be going live here with Rocky Ford. Here we go.
They're having some audio and visual problems right now.
It happens a lot.
Recording in progress.
Oh, the recording's in progress.
That was me.
See how it goes. 26 people watching over there. After the last meeting made national news, I suppose they conveniently had some camera issues, maybe.
You can hear them working it out in the background. They're trying to figure it out. Hey, John, how does the Zoom look? Are you in the Zoom?
It's actually asking for a passcode, and there isn't one.
Just see it over. Yeah, just see it over and over.
Or are they just looking at copies of books?
Robert, are those the new?
Yeah, they brought them up.
Yes, she brought them up. Okay. Do you have one?
Okay, so meeting ID is going to be
Oh, on
719
nice to have.
254
I don't even. know that I-
7414.
I didn't bring my computer.
Well, and I didn't because it was dying, so.
Yeah, I got that. It's
Oh.
asking for the meeting passcode.
Plug into.
Oh,
I've only got 2 minutes to pull it up on my phone. I just-
that's weird.
That might be it.
It's interesting.
I don't see a passcode on
You
here
wanna
with
share
the
this
link
one
or
I'll
anything.
detail off of-
I don't either.
Fantastic.
So how you supposed to get there and watch it through Zoom?
I don't know, but I'll share this tab instead really quick because they're having some issues here. But so if you go to the Rocky Ford website and you go all the way down and you go to their meeting, it has the link right there for the Zoom, but there's no code.
The deficit. I think it's pretty.
Wow, they've got 50 people in there with technical difficulties.
Oops.
The last video that they did over here just on Facebook had 9,500 views.
Okay, we can get it started now.
There's no camera online. Cameras are on.
In here?
Nobody can see us.
Yeah, it's asking for a passcode.
Still ever seen? There it is.
There's some video, guys. We're getting closer. It looks like there's some people there today, too. Good to see it. We got the news weasel on the far left. His natural habitat.
Okay, time is now 6:03 p.m. We'll get the special meeting of the Rocky Ford City Council to order. Michelle, will you do our roll call, please?
Barone. Martinez.
Here.
Mosby. Here. Roberts.
Here.
Mullins.
Here.
Mayor Goudelet.
Here. If you'll all rise, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That way the people know who you are.
Yeah, John, that
Councilman
meeting
Burrow, will you
ID
do
is
the
the
mission statement?
passcode.
Okay. Mission statement is improve the quality
I
of
got it.
life in the city of Rocky Ford, making it a great place to live and work while strengthening relationships and creating pride in the community.
Thank you. Okay, we'll open it up for public comment. Public comment will be for items that are not on the agenda. We do have second reading of the budget on the agenda, and we have a public hearing for that. So if you do want to speak on that, there will be time for that. So if anyone would like to provide public comment, come on up to the front.
After watching what happened at the last meeting, I would like to ask that our council members and mayor use Robert Rules of Order. Not speak until you're asked to speak, not interrupt other people when they're speaking. It's rude, it's unprofessional. And as a member of this community, and I think most of us can agree, that was embarrassing to our town. Profanity should never be used in a council meeting by anyone. And I would ask that you act as our representatives and act accordingly professionally as we put you here to represent us. And we would ask that you would act as professionals. And the mayor should ask you to speak. You raise your hand to speak. You do not speak until you're asked to speak. You do not interrupt another member, and they should not interrupt you either. And I would ask, and I think everyone in this building would ask and support what I'm asking. Thank you.
What is it, Aaron?
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, come on up.
Johnny McMurray, former councilman for Ward 2.
There
The
is.
reason that I wanted to speak today because it's about the integrity of following our own municipal codes. Our municipal code states explicitly that every regular election after 1989, there shall be 3 council members elected for a 4-year term. I've read some things that are going to be talked about in the executive session, probably about a deviation from that to follow a state code that's not relevant to our municipal codes. Our people already set a plan into motion that would work perfectly for us to have 4-year staggered terms. Every 2 years it would refresh. That does not say every regular election there might be 2, there might be 1 or 5 or 6. It says there will be 3, and they shall be elected for a 4-year term. So I would just recommend that you guys take serious heart to that. That is our municipal code. It's section 2-2-10A. That's in our municipal code. That's our local Rocky Ford law that's been established that we have to follow. That supersedes everything. So we shouldn't deviate from that. And I ask that you maintain integrity in our council and follow that law. I rest.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any others on public comment?
Mayor? Am I able to go right now, Mayor?
We hear you.
You'll state your name for the record, please.
Well, my name could be any name. I'll just go by King 225 because now these days people don't have to go by their name per state law and everything. So I identify as King, and I've been following you guys for some time. So as that one young lady spoke about how you guys had a debacle at the last meeting, the mayor got his panties in a bunch and banged the gavel, broke the thing, and that other council member, good Lord, had a meltdown. All of you guys were having a meltdown. You guys can't even calendar or follow state law and your city code. It's in there. And you guys technically by law with this Cracker Jack box attorney, Mr. Harvey, you guys can't have this illegal executive session because that former council member still should be on council. So whoever took his place is in there illegally and cannot be hearing attorney-client privilege because he is technically not the correct client. So go ahead and break law like Pueblo City Council has, like Kersey, Colorado City Council has, and Aurora. It's sad that people elect crazies instead of people who really care about their community in all these cities that I just mentioned. You guys should be ashamed of yourself. And I know I am not the only one. I hope everybody in that room agrees with me that the mayor and all council members should resign, along with the city attorney, the city manager, which the city manager, I don't know how she got that job because she used to work in a dental office. How do you go from working in a dental office to overseeing a city with the budget? And shame on you guys for cutting public safety. You guys swore the oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of Colorado, and the laws and ordinances of the town, city of Rocky Ford. Shame, shame of you guys. It's ridiculous how you guys act, how other people act. Oh, and don't get me started on Lamarck, Texas. Good Lord. That's a show in itself. You guys should follow that city council. And technically people could curse. Yes, it's not saying to do it, but that is the First Amendment right. Anybody could say all of you guys are idiots. That's protected by First Amendment speech. And I dare anybody to call me out of order because I'll have my attorney give you guys the biggest lawsuit you guys ever had. Because as long as we are not threatening you in any form or fashion, we are able to speak our piece to each and every one of you guys. You guys should be held accountable for your actions. And I'll double down on daring you guys to have that illegal executive session here when you guys get to it. Please do. Because KOA is watching. So fuck all of you.
Any others?
Yeah, I'd like to speak. I got a couple of issues.
We have someone in chambers coming up. We'll recognize the person on Zoom after.
Hi, I'm Sandy Lytle, a resident of Rocky Ford, and I'm not sure if this is the time I need to bring this up. But when you guys had your meeting on a special election, I do believe that that's something that you should, what I believe is that you should not file for a special election with the budget being in the shape that it is in, because a special election is not cheap. From my understanding, and I have worked with plenty of elections and stuff, it's anywhere from 120,000 to 200,000 to get such a thing organized to even do. And because of that, we also have 2 elections coming up, one in June, which is a minor for candidates on who's going to be on the ballot for our November election. So I do believe at that time that you guys would be able to put any disputes on the ballot, and it would be held with a regular election and not put that expense on this community, because we're already at a dismay over the budget. And I would hope that you would take that into consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We had public comment from Zoom.
Yeah, thanks, Dwayne. I appreciate that. I got a couple issues. Last week, I came into the Zoom meeting and I had the handle of "the fuckery is real." My name was changed. Don't touch my name ever. You're not allowed to do that. You can't do that. Stop playing around with me. I'm not the one. Secondly, Dwayne, Nicole continuously last week violated 18.9.108 of the Colorado Revised Statute, which kept interrupting people. And then, to make matters worse, you didn't gavel her down when she decided to go on a tirade for 3 minutes, not only berating the people on the dais, but members of the audience and some people that weren't even there. That's despicable, absolutely despicable. And as the mayor, you're the guy that's supposed to be controlling the meeting. It's an embarrassment, not only to the board, but to you. You're supposed to be getting her in line. This is insane. When are you guys going to learn? Next, you guys want to turn around and you're looking at the short-sightedness on the ambulance situation, and you're going to turn around and you're going to stiff future generations 10 to 15 years down the road by trying to get rid of the public safety aspect. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. People are fighting tooth and nail for those grants. These guys got them, and you got to piss them out the window. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. You guys need to get this stuff together. Get your things together. Cut where you need to cut, but you can't cut public safety. You're going to kill yourself, and you're going to kill the town. You can't do it.
Thank you. Any others for public comment? Yes. No others for public comment.
I'd like to make a comment, public comment, not as council, but for me to you guys, I'm sorry. I was up here last week and it was, you know, some of the comments I don't agree with that were just made. I think they were out of line, but we were out of line last week. We need to get our act together. We've already discussed our actions up here previously, and we shouldn't have to be going over our action. We're representing the community, and if that's how we're going to represent the community, I'd be ashamed to be a part of that community. So I'm sorry.
I'd like to make a public comment towards specifically Stacy Malinsky and Kyle, our accountant. Attacks were thrown around towards you guys. And we overstepped our authority as city council when we threw your budget away. State law gives you the authority, you alone, to submit a budget. It's our job to approve it. We're allowed to amend it. We aren't allowed to submit competing budgets. And I think you guys had the best interest in the city and you made difficult decisions. And we stonewalled you guys for 4 months and set you up for failure. And it's our fault we're in this situation. It has nothing to do with the city leadership that was put in place.
Any others?
I would just like to say I apologize for my actions last week as well. That was out of line. There's not really any buts, but if you think that you guys can do a better job sitting up here and make better decisions, then I encourage you to please put in your hat. We're going to probably have some seats opening up, probably running a special election. So if you guys think that you can do better, please put your name in the hat, because I don't know that anybody, even us, enjoys sitting up here and dealing with the ridicule and the constant berating from this side or that side. You know, some of you like us, some of you like them. I mean, it's obvious that there's a disconnect and a division in this town, and it shouldn't be that way. We should all be working together for the best thing for Rocky Ford. That's why I stepped up, because I saw the ability to do something for my hometown. So, you know, every once in a while we get a little heated and say some things that maybe we shouldn't, but we all are human and we all make mistakes. So, I mean, I apologize for what I said and the way I was out of line. And we'll just leave it at that. I can't speak for anyone else on council. So I don't appreciate anyone saying that council should, you know, I speak for council this way or what we did, or, you know, we each get to speak for ourselves.
I'll just add, you know, kind of taking the time that next day to look back at the meeting and how it all transpired. You know, definitely take a lot of accountability for that as the mayor, as the facilitator of the meeting. You know, I want to apologize to the community for, you know, kind of subjecting you and any of the listeners and then the people who were here that evening to that disorder. So, you know, I apologize wholeheartedly for that. And, you know, always willing to learn. And that was definitely a learning lesson there. Look forward to a more productive meeting this evening here and moving forward. And I thank you all for being here tonight and, you know, being willing to engage and ensure that, you know, your voice and that council knows what it is that the community wants us to hear as decisions are being made. So thank you again for being here tonight. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Tonight's consent agenda we will be removing item 6.1, which is the approval of council meeting minutes from December 9th. Those are not completed yet. So it will just be item 6.2, the application for special event permit for fermented malt beverage from the Rocky Ford Chamber of Commerce at the Gobin Building, 105 North Main Street, Rocky Ford, on Wednesday, December 31st, 2025, from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. Look for, if anyone wants to discuss that in full, let us know. We can move it to regular new business. If not, look for a motion on consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve consent agenda 6.2, application special events permit, fermented malt beverage, Rocky Ford Chamber of Commerce, Gomad Building, 105 North Main Street, Rocky Ford, on Wednesday, December the 31st, 2025 from 5 PM to 2 AM.
I'll second it.
I prefer not to, so.
Okay, we got the second from Martinez. Call the vote?
Barone,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Mosby,
Yes.
Roberts,
Abstain.
Mullins,
Yes.
Mayor Gurley.
Yes. All right, and we have no other additions to tonight's agenda, so I'd look for a motion to approve agenda as is.
Make a motion to approve agenda as is.
My second.
Okay, call that vote?
Martinez,
Yes.
Mosby,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Mullins,
Yes.
Barone,
Yes.
Mayor Gurley.
Yes. All right, next item is executive session. And I would look for a motion to move us into executive session, and just for the audience, so you know, we will be going into one of the separate rooms for the executive session. And when that executive session is completed, we will return to council chambers. And for anyone who's following along online, that live stream will stay live until we return. So look for a motion to move into executive session, if you want to read it by full title there.
I'll make a motion that we move into executive session pursuant to CRS 24-6-402, Section B, Section 4, Section B, to receive legal advice on a specific legal questions concerning elections and council terms.
My second.
I believe that Johnny McMurray should attend that with us.
Dan?
I guess we'll, city attorney, there was a request from councilman to have someone join us.
Yeah, so at the last meeting, there was a declaration of vacancy of that position, correct?
Yes.
So, and this is also something that I'm gonna address as well concerning the executive session. So at this point, if there remains a vacancy, then he wouldn't be in the executive session.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. So we have the motion and the second. Call the vote?
Mosby,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Mullins,
No.
Barone,
Yes.
Martinez,
No.
Mayor Gurley.
Yes. Okay, we will move into executive session.
Illegal executive session.
I don't know who that is, but I'm loving that guy. I'm
Hey,
loving
man,
that guy.
make
I
the
have
national
no
news.
clue who that is.
When you make the national news, you pick up national trolls. It's embarrassing, like the community's saying, you know.
Oh my God, that's great.
So they're off to executive now, guys. They're gonna do their thing. We'll hang around. We'll wait, see how long it is for adjournment.
I mean, they haven't stopped the stream yet. I think they're just going to keep it running while they're in executive. You got to keep an eye on all those shady people in there.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna take too long in executive session. Maybe 20 minutes, I'm guessing. What's up, Joko? Yeah, so the last Rocky Ford meeting made the national news. It was that good, guys. They couldn't handle anything. It was terribly bad, really, but they apologized, so it's all better. Yeah. No, if they apologized, it's okay. Except Nicole. Nicole didn't apologize. Wow. Maybe that was an apology. I don't know what you call that.
I think that was like guilt by association apology. Like she'd look bad if she didn't do it, because even Dwayne did it. And
It
I don't
doesn't
know,
matter.
and I'm just saying, like, they all apologize. So I don't know. We got the clips. We got the clips.
What's
It
up,
doesn't
Lori?
These guys are insane.
What do you think
Right?
of that show there, Lori?
Yeah, what do you think, Lori? That's the reason why you're up there. Are you still there?
Are you no,
Gone.
gone just like that? Boof. She's like, oh, they see me. They see me. I gotta go. Yeah,
She hit the wrong. I almost bet you she hit the wrong button because she was going to unmute. She was muted.
That's funny.
She'll be right back.
She'll be right back. No doubt.
Lady J, Gregory, Savage Broadcasting, Scales, Poor Dirt Farmer. What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming in. We greatly appreciate all of you.
I heard poor Dirt Farmer has a new admirer in the state of Maryland.
No.
Yeah. Sorry, PDF.
How does the wife feel about that?
I wish I knew.
Oh, well, I mean, like, what kind of admirer? Are we talking like stalker admirer, trying to get charges on him admirer? What kind of admirer are we talking about here?
Myers Gator.
I'm not so. What was that, GCM?
I said they admire his Gator Nuggets.
Oh,
It could be. You never know.
there's Miss Lori.
She's almost made it back.
Almost. We got you on video. What is your audio working? Oh, no. See, even she's having technical difficulties, dude. I'm telling you, it's the technology. It's getting overloaded somehow. Like, it's not keeping up the way it used to. Ever since they supposedly switched over to 5G, everything's been running like shit. It used to run great with 4G. What happened?
The upgrade.
Don't worry, they're working on the 6G.
Oh my! I like that guy. He's funny.
Yeah, whoever that was,
King?
that was some public comment, and I thought that was kind of, you know, that it was just, hey,
Well,
dude.
that's why I asked John, because John was in Zoom, so he should have been able to see what the name was.
Oh no, he's like me. My name in here is don't change my name. So
He said his name was King.
There's iPhone. I think he is Koa, Koaa.
Okay. I kind of figured it would have been somebody trolling, so I just wanted to know what the name was. Like, yours was The Fuckery Is Real, and they changed your name, and then you bit their head off about it. That was awesome.
Well, tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. I just thought it was fucking hilarious. Then this dude rips into him. Oh man, epic stuff right there.
Right, because you can't have what was the problem? The word fuckery? Was that I'm guessing that was the problem that tickled their fancy there. But yet in their meeting, they said fuck how many times? You know what I mean? So like they have a hell of an argument in court, wouldn't they?
Right.
Yeah, that would be great, right?
You know what I mean?
You know,
it's offensive if you do it, but not them. You know, I get it.
well, you know what's funny about it too is I didn't intend to give any type of public comment last week either. So I would have just sat back in the Zoom meeting listening to what was going on and not said a word. But when she started changing stuff, and then they started getting into the debate, I mean that's insane. And the thing is, the mayor's lapdog is the problem.
Is Chihuahua there, Nicole?
Yeah. And that's why I brought up the 18.9
Sorry.
108 statute
Sorry, but
because
she's not. It's everybody else's fault.
yeah, if you can do a better job, come up here.
Yeah.
Well,
Wait,
listen,
I
I
thought-
don't
No, that's in the playbook. That's in the playbook right now, guys. So, I've been trying to write this playbook on how government deals with people and the different steps. And we're at that step. We're at the sorry step.
Well, and if you think you can do it better, right? Didn't we hear
Yeah.
that from Tyra a bunch of times too? If you think you can do it better,
well,
that stage.
I will say this. We know what an offshore account is as opposed to her. So I think we might be able to outdo her there.
Do you think it's copyright if I write the book myself and then publish it? Because I think, people, it would be kind of like the trifold, man. It would be the new trifold. We could sell the playbook on how government works and how you get around it. And it's not using laws, it's using their logic. So you just, you counteract their steps before the steps happen. And then, when they say, I'm sorry, and if you think you can do it better, go ahead and put your hat in. You'll know that you're at step 8 and you're doing good. If you don't hear that by now, that's a bad sign. You're not doing your job right, and you need to get your government employees in line and rein those motherfuckers in.
I will say this: that gentleman that was talking, the King guy, he does have a valid point. If a member was replaced on the board, right? And I think they were talking about bringing that guy John something or other in there, right? Who gave a deposition. If that whole scenario is correct, he may not be too far wrong that they violated the open meetings with the executive session that they're holding right now regarding the elections. That could be a problem for them too. Huge problem. But that's something for another day and something to look into.
Lori, are you joining us tonight?
I'm not so sure her audio is working.
We're gonna get her half a participation trophy.
Half a participation trophy. It's Lucky 225. What's up?
Hey, Lucky.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay.
All right. All right.
I can't hear you guys. Fuck.
You can't hear us.
Of course not. Just fuck.
You mean is the volume really low?
What?
Is the volume
You mean
really
what?
low?
I can't hear you. These fucking things. Don't
Oh. That's that Aguilar internet. She was there. She probably walked or moved a half a
Lucky, Lucky, in answer to your question, I don't
Okay,
think
if-
they even know. But it is a cluster.
Oh. Lori, I don't think your Aguilar internet is working with you tonight. I don't know if it's meant to be.
Curse.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Like a
Everyone can
robot.
hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, like a robot. Grab your antenna, go stand on the roof, and make that pose. and you'll get us again. You know how to do it. You're from that generation. So am I. And I'm not busting balls. I used to hold the antenna.
Put your heels together and spin around.
Don't forget the aluminum foil.
You got this, Lori.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I have Elon Musk internet.
You have
That is-
Starlink?
Yes. And it
Get
fucking
out.
sucks.
You
Yeah.
have Starlink and it sucks that bad. Your dish is blocked or something. It's not pointed right.
I don't know what happens. When I'm on Gary's show, I'll be fine on my phone, but then on my computer, I get the wheel of death. And that started when we were talking last year, all the shit about La Junta. So I don't know. I just try to do my best, and I'm feeble at everything I try. So sorry. I'm sorrier than Nicole and Satan.
Well, don't feel bad because Rocky Ford had a bunch of issues, and it happens. We understand.
Right.
Just say you're sorry.
Just say you're sorry.
I'm
Rocky.
sorry.
Okay.
I am sorry.
Okay.
And I'm sincere because I don't have a job and I don't care. So I have nothing to lose for not being sincere, right? But no, I'm always sincere.
So, what was the guy in the front row doing
That's
in the
accountant.
back? Oh, is that the account? So, why isn't he staying in executive session, or are they coming out now?
Well, I think now they're probably on to the seat.
Well, right, they're on the executive session about the council terms, council member terms,
Right.
of
So-
service or
So
whatever.
I think they just probably sealed the deal or are sealing the deal on the agenda for the budget right now, and that's why he's out of there. And then I'm guessing then they're gonna do the seat.
Well, hold on. Wasn't there a whole big speech about how they shouldn't have changed whatever they had proposed to them? They could make amendments, but not completely change it and like offer whole new budgets. So are they taking away everything that happened from last meeting? So it's like, Nolan, what the hell is going on?
You people are sorry. That's all that matters.
Okay, I feel better now.
That's it.
You know what I think?
That
is
word
funny
is
the fact that
amazing.
They're changing. I can't believe they're actually trying to change the terms of the council members. Essentially, what my understanding is that Dwayne is actually trying to eliminate Thomas Mullins' position on the board. And my understanding is that the way that it's set up, they get like a 4-year term. So if a board member resigns within that 4-year term, say after the first year, the new board member that comes in, whether elected or appointed, would fill that 3-year void. At the end of the 3-year void, then they would vote. They would do a general election for that seat.
Well, right.
But what it sounds like Dwayne's trying to do is Dwayne's trying to turn around and go, oh no, you only had it until the end of the year. See you later. Bye. And I don't think Dwayne can do that. I mean, I don't even think he has the ability to do that.
Well,
try.
I think it began with questions on when they were done. So that came up as when you take the seat, you only serve the term of the seat if it wasn't like in the original election year for that seat. So, and then it got all confused and even I'm still confused because it just started turning into a shouting match and accusations and maybe we should just fire the fire chief and maybe we should do that. I mean, that's a lot of that.
Well, this is just my opinion, but maybe you shouldn't have had the fire chief access and dispatch calls right? Through the system, the secured system, to try and find a particular phone call that was made to the dispatcher, and having CBI investigating it. Maybe that would have been a smart move.
Well, I mean,
Can't
we all
understand why he
know,
wants to get rid of them.
well, we all know that they've got their little hands in little things and whatnot and so forth. And then there's little grudges here and there. I mean, it's kind of like high school again. It's kind of crazy to actually see it go down like this. And I'm wondering if like we paid attention to like the higher government, you know what I'm talking about, the higher government, if they act like that, they just don't have people following them around with cameras all the time. I mean, we catch them all the time on the news, kind of acting a fool like this, but I think it's just a whole Gooberman thing, man. Like, this is how they act in the Gooberman. Doesn't matter what the level is. This is how they act.
Yeah, it's a shit show. There's some people in the audience.
Somebody has that name already.
Looks like, over a dozen people there.
I don't think
Yeah,
I've
this is
seen
the
many.
most I've seen.
Go ahead, John.
I was just gonna say this is the most I've seen since Nicole decided to assault that young lady and her mother and the boyfriend at the Gobin back in November of 24.
Right. I mean, I'm surprised I don't see more people here, at least for the very beginning, right? For public comment. I mean, you had how many views on their video? It was like over 9K, right?
No, it was 7,500.
7,500.
Last I knew.
Well, still 7,500. That's the population of the whole entire southern Colorado. Just joking. Like, I don't know if that is, but it just seems like there's really small towns, and it would just add up to that. So I don't know, but 7,500. You would figure more people in that town would have like seen that and been there, because just of the fact of them cutting their resources as far as firefighters, EMT, and police. So you're cutting all that stuff. Now what are you bringing in? Because you're not doing as much as you used to.
They're going to need more money.
I mean, do they have grants set up for this? Like, are they set up to take this hit? Because what were you saying, GCM? What was it? The 125% reimbursement?
Yeah, that was proposed to be cut because they're reimbursed 125% when they have to go out to fight fires, right? Through the program. It's a reimbursement. 125%, they said. So but that's getting cut. I was like, wildfire or something. I forget the name of the program, but yeah, they're cutting that, I believe. We'll see. I don't know, because ultimately most of what they did in the last meeting legal.
I think what's scary about what they're talking about is the fact that they've been forewarned that if they go ahead and do what they're doing, that it could come back and bite them. Because at one point last week, they were talking about sending out one officer on his own to cover a shift at night. I mean, that's unheard of. I mean,
well, not for out there. Not for out there, John. No, not for out there, man. They're used to that stuff. I mean, look at Aguilar. It services itself. It has no law enforcement. You had Wall
That's not
Street.
entirely true. The sheriff's department in Los Angeles serviced the shit out of Aguilar.
No. Well, they did, but they
In
never
my
came down.
opinion.
No, they never came down unless it was Tyra. Now Tyra's gone. They're like, ding dong, the witch is dead, and they don't come back now. Apparently, like, they don't come back. So I don't know. Like Aguilar, seriously, Aguilar needs a marshal. If you'd like to apply, you can go onto their website that's like mad out of date and hasn't been changed in like, unless like it was to make Stephanie the town clerk. That's pretty much the only change that I've seen in the last, 5-6 months on that page, is that she changed her name to town clerk.
And if you are still willing to have your core request denied, please, by all means, file one.
Yeah, don't bother going down there to file one because the doors are locked.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Town hall is closed permanently.
Yeah, that might be Rocky Ford not too long from now. I mean, it seems they're shooting themselves in both feet here, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. They're gonna be coming out and letting us know something here through some votes, I believe. And we should have a budget. It's due by today, legally. By 12/15, it have to have it.
They've got 140.
You know
140.
they should. You know what they should do? They should do like Tyra used to do and copy and paste. Again, allegedly, supposedly.
Right? Was that you on the Zoom scales? Were you busting their balls scales? I would really like to know who is busting their balls.
Right? Why ain't they over here busting our balls? Dude was funny.
He's gonna fix it. Man, it is silent in there. Is it really that or I wonder if they have the mics muted.
I wonder why they didn't bring pizza for everybody.
Right? Where's News Weasel? Oh, he's sitting over there in the corner over there.
Yeah, he's resting his little legs, you know.
Well, you
He
gotta.
doesn't have it.
What was
He
that,
doesn't
John?
have his photographer. I'm sorry. I was asking whether or not he had his photographer with him. You know, the same photographer that has those special charges that nobody likes.
Oh, I don't know. I don't see him there.
It's a little scary that a news agency would hire a guy like that, knowing what he is and what he's done.
Right? And defending
I'm
it.
curious because I could have sworn that I've seen pictures taken for this particular news agency, and that gentleman was taking pictures of people he definitely shouldn't have been taking pictures of. So it kind of has me a little concerned, but that's just my opinion.
Nobody pays attention to him. I mean, his last meeting, the city got plenty of views, and he got like 3. So I don't even know why he bothers standing there wasting his time, to be honest. But he told us he gets like 40,000 hits a day on his website or something like that. So And if you want, you can go by the shop and get a special ending, I think. I don't know how happy it'll be, but it'll be a special one. We tried, but they locked the doors on us.
Yeah, last audit of
Cameras
Aggie,
down, everything, dude. It was terrible.
right? Yeah, he tried to go in, he tried to make a request and do an update, and the door was locked. So it was kind of like when the news guy came down and he tried to walk through the door and almost face planted the glass of the door because the door was locked. It was kind of like that. It was just a revisit. I think they're stuck in a loop. Aguilar is in a weird time loop.
Well, it can't be any worse than Bent County. I mean, how do you hire an entire posse?
Well, you're allowed to do
I
that.
didn't even know they still had them.
Yeah, you're allowed to do that out here. It's the Wild
I didn't
West.
even know you was. I didn't even know they still had them.
No, it's the Wild West out here.
Yeah, I
You get a
guess.
posse. Yeah, you get a posse.
That DRMO program must be working real good for him with those M14s and such.
Well, they got the nice big truck in the back, and we've got the video to prove it. Just in case of a zombie apocalypse.
Well, I
or a
thought they
riot.
had like 6 or 7 of them.
I
I
only
thought they had like
spotted
6 or 7 of those.
I only spotted the one, and then they put up a sign on us. Me and Good Citizen thought it was quite hilarious that we rolled up and they had put up a sign on us, and we're no longer allowed back there after we got our footage. And we almost got hit by one of Trinidad cops bringing in a guy to jail, and I guess he wasn't paying attention or something, and almost ran head on with me as we were leaving. So yeah, it's a pretty crazy place over there, man. They don't like you filming.
What was that on the right side of the building? Because if it was on the right side, the cameras don't work. You would have been dead in the water there.
Yeah, no. Well, none of the cameras work apparently on the outside. Remember, like we've done a whole
I
like,
know.
well, I
I
want
know.
footage over here, and did no cameras. I want footage over here. No cameras.
I think what's really interesting is the fact that according to what I was told in an email, that apparently there are no body camera, dash camera footage, nothing regarding an escaped prisoner. So all the people that were searching for this woman, all these people, nobody had a body camera running. Nobody had a dash camera running. They took her into custody, though. It's kind of interesting, you know. I'm so glad that Governor Polis decided to put the Integrity Act into law. I mean, they're following that perfectly over in Benton County.
Right. The microphones are actually starting to pick up people talking, so people have actually started talking. Can you believe it was just that quiet in that room for that long, bro? That long. It was that dead quiet in that room, and now people just couldn't stand it. They got to talk.
All the money, all the schools, paying all our money in the pie. The biggest pie. And he said, now show me where you cut. Awesome. You can relate, because I think if you look at the state budget, when you're going, all the service, they pretty much. Where do you start? I mean, just like this.
I'm gonna mute, and we're gonna try and catch some of this.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yes, I know. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Happy days.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. Oh, you're kind, oh, I knew you. You started for this. I know. I appreciate it. Exactly. Looks like. We didn't. Yeah. That's what I saw. That's what I heard. But what's it I'm saying? My understanding is, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say. I heard it. My question would be. We didn't, I didn't hear about it. And the other issue, the other one. There's some. I don't. That's not. That's what I was gonna say. It's a. This is the Bible. I haven't seen it now. Council seen it. I've seen it.
don't know, man.
I don't know. I mean, gave everybody enough time to go grab a Pepsi, go use the restroom.
Yeah, it took a little longer than I was thinking. I thought about 20 minutes, and they're past that.
Do you think they're getting primed? You're getting all primed up, ready to come out here and let everybody know how sorry they are?
I have a feeling that instead of warring on the dais, they're warring in the back room.
I think they're getting ready to queue up the Eye of the Tiger and come walking out. I'm pretty sure.
Lady J out of bounds. I'm sorry. Sorry, Lady J. Nature calls. You got to go. I was meaning me. I used the nice little break to try and catch some of the background noise that people were talking about. This lady up front was talking about money being used for certain things, but I couldn't quite pick it up. That's why I like trying to pick it up, because I can enhance the audio later and I might be able to understand what she was talking about. And you never know. It's little stories like that that we never hear of that'll lead to something else. You know, again, we didn't think it was going to take this long. So now I've got to look for something here that we were just not expecting this. We're not expecting this. Sorry, everybody, for like the long wait. I mean, we kind of figured it would be a minute, but it's been over a minute.
Man.
Well, that was 2 years ago.
Well, I mean, technically, if you wanted to, you could just flip through last week's meeting, or last Friday or whatever fucking day it was. I forget now, but boy, oh
Last
boy,
Monday.
that meeting was full of it. Yeah.
I was I was trying to find the news story on it, and it's popping up like everything but that meeting.
Oh, the mayor had it sealed. Sorry. Inside joke.
Oh, well, I mean, it's a good possibility he's got that type of pull. Oh man. Oh, that's funny.
Nah, it's out there. Yeah. Sorry, guys. That's an inside
Simple
joke.
meeting taking a. This is worse than the Jeopardy music, man. These guys are killing us.
Oh my gosh.
You know it is popping up. All right, we might as well because I can't find it anywhere else.
Uh-oh.
We'll use this here.
Here we go, guys.
We'll use this here.
City manager, how do you change? How do you feel about restructuring, getting public works, public safety, water?
To be honest, I'm still processing it.
I know you're a processor, but processing
Yeah.
time's over.
I hear you. I can't answer this right now.
I think if we're going to be honest and we're going to do good stewards of the tax dollars, that if the restructure is something that we believe needs to be done, that's something we need to look at doing over the next 12 months and bring this to next year's budget. We're right now at a time crunch. This needs to be figured out and approved. We don't have time to figure out
an hour before.
Yeah. I mean, if you had given this months ago, this may be something we would look at logistically. And but I think that would be something we should look at next year.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And also, I came with the proposal that gets us to zero.
Well, so did Kyle.
Okay. And
So-
close to zero, or whatever that looks like, but that's already been shaken up.
Yeah.
So yeah, this only works if it's done this way. If it is only pieces of it, it doesn't work.
Well, just to be clear, if you do everything you want in public works, right now we're at like $700,000 deficit based on all the other votes that we made today. So it won't. Yes. I mean, we just, because you counted removing ambulance, that is $450,000 line item. I mean, you got to
added the 450
You got a formula
expense
right
and
there.
put in 353 revenue.
What is it at now?
It's 90.
How is it 90 when
Because you put in an expense and a revenue and it cancels out 300,000.
in that one line item? But
Yes.
we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars in all of these combined.
Where are we at right now with current changes? Just out of curiosity.
I was doing it as we go, but it's
Jeopardy
over.
did it.
Na, 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 na.
You wanted Jeopardy music, John. I gave it to you.
I mean, for one thing, just in deployment costs, increase $100,000, reduction in revenue, 160,000. That's 300 grand right there. Just those two line items. We're talking about $300,000 difference.
I know, that's why I was at. I just kind of wanted to know where we're at.
Yeah.
I know we're nowhere near balance. Like that's not even.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like if this thing here is not going to make a difference. And I want to circle back to you, Dan, because we've got some back and forth up here on the council about whether or not your answer was clear. Is it your opinion that this would be advisable to take the 1% road tax and use it to cover salaries? Is it advisable?
I think that it would be my opinion that it's too close. It's not that. No, it would not be advisable. I think there's at least a potential for a Tabor violation. I understand there's ambiguity with the language, but it would be my opinion that I don't think we could use it for salaries.
With everything that's been said,
Okay, so I'm gonna just answer the question that was asked. This currently puts us at $620,000 deficit. So we went backwards.
Correct.
Let's keep on moving forward.
Backwards, you mean?
Wow.
So, I mean, are they going to be doing the 1% tax thing? Are they going to have the Tabor violation?
No,
No.
I don't think they are. I'm pretty sure they got that part figured out. We should. I
Oh.
mean, we should see her shortly, but I'm pretty sure they figured out that they're not able to propose a budget. That's not their job. It's not their duty. It's I don't know where the fuck he even come up with thinking that him or any of the other council members should have proposed their own budget. Like, that's not why you pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to these other people who are professionals.
Right. Well, and then I mean, you got to understand they're trying to, so basically regardless, they would have had to cut from all departments, right?
They can like vote to amend the budget.
Right.
Okay. But
They
they can't fucking change the budget, restructure all this bullshit that they were trying to do right there. It's not legal. It's not lawful. And I mean,
Well, I mean, they did a great enough job to get recognized by Channel 5.
Oh, we should reduce this and we should reduce that. And then, but otherwise I need to just shut the f- up is what you're saying.
Tensions were high at the Rocky Ford City Council meeting this week while discussing the town budget. Now, apart from that heated interaction, Rocky Ford's fire captain has his own concerns. Brandon Dickinson shared this concern on Facebook. Reduction of staff by 4 positions, 3 from the fire budget and 1 from the ambulance budget. He says this will lead to slower response times and put more stress on remaining personnel. The 2025 proposed fire budget is a 29% decrease from what was spent in 2024. Rocky Ford Fire says a special meeting will be held on Monday so that budget can be finalized.
And that's all we're waiting for is the finalization of this budget. As soon as they're done back there, getting the books right, guys. They're getting the books right, allegedly.
The Rocky Ford got more views than KOOA did.
Oh yeah,
Blew them out of the water.
yeah, yeah, by a lot. That's funny. Yeah, I did. That was it though. They had their little news report on it. They took a little clip it. There were so many clippets of this meeting, guys.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we've still got this.
We have to get to a point at which we agree, and then we have to figure out where we're going from there.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm eating chips and I'm watching you guys blow up the budget by millions of dollars because you fundamentally don't understand what the problem is. And then eventually we're going to have to rely on what the auditors said, our budget experts here.
Mr.
and our
Mullins,
city
Mr. Mullins,
manager.
did you, I think I might have missed any recommendations you brought.
Oh, yeah, I've been making
And recommendations that we've heard over the last 3 months as we've been working on this budget.
I move that we vote on
No,
and approve. the city-
I'm asking you, how did you assess this to bring recommendations?
What are you saying? Like I'm doing nothing up here?
He's just asking if you have a.
I'm asking you
My
how.
proposal is that we
how
rely on
you-
the city manager that we hired and pay significant amount of money and our accountant to do their jobs.
Okay, and
our auditors, which all said the exact same
And we
thing.
were presented a deficit of 578 and we're supposed to work from that.
No, we're supposed to work up what he brought in today because we did not give him an opportunity.
But we were given this with less time to review than Dwayne.
This wouldn't have been brought in. This wouldn't have been brought in if.
I
No.
got
most of
this when I came in and spoke to him. I did not see this until I was handed this at 6 o'clock tonight.
I knew we were getting.
Dwayne's I saw a copy of an hour before that. So I was given one copy.
So is that how all of these towns in southern Colorado operate? Is they wait till the very last minute to give the packets to the council people?
No, they've had these for months. They've been working on this for months. And Dwayne came in and an hour before the meeting and proposed his own budget and Mullins in the yellow shirt is right. Like you have to rely on the experts. You don't get to just create your own budget. That's not how this shit works, dude. They can approve or deny it. They can amend it. They can, you know what I mean? They can't, like he's sitting there going off on Mullins. What have you done to make this budget better? And that's not his purpose at all. That's why they're paying a lot of money to these experts.
I kind of.
Well, wait a minute now. Isn't.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, but. Well, am I paying Miss Malinsky for as the city administrator or city manager? She's supposed to help figure out these budgets along with the finance. The finance managers in there.
No, she's the one that has to propose the budget. That's her job. That's what she does. She's the one that gets to propose the budget. Not the mayor. The mayor don't get to make a budget and propose it. Not a council member. That's not how this shit works, dude. So I don't understand why the mayor was going off on the councilman about, well, what budget have you put together for it? Or, you know what I mean? Like why would he put together a budget? That's weird. That shit comes from your city clerk. That's their job, their duty.
Yeah, but he's got it handled. I mean, from what I understand, and I'm not trying
and Mullins was trying to tell him, you're cutting this line item for $100,000, but you're Xing out $160,000 in revenue, you know, or whatever, dude. Like he was telling him just how it is, man. That it's funny. It's funny to me.
The other day too, because they're talking about the ambulance. And we all know that, like with the ambulance, when an ambulance goes out, they're charging anywhere from $1,500 just to take that ride. So it's not like they're not going to get the money back or recoup some of the money for the grants that they're being given for the ambulances that they're trying to build.
Well, and what happens to those ambulances now? Like seriously, like they already said they had one being built. Or I kind of missed it because there was so much going on. They're taking the one that's already built, right? Like the new one. There's one already built. They're taking that one, right?
No, they have two chassis, and they said that the fittings that would go into the ambulances are sitting on the chassis, and they're waiting for the build to go on. So I don't even know if they've even started building them other than having the chassis on them. No. It's interesting.
There was a lot going on in that meeting. There really was. There was a lot going on in that meeting.
At 5 o'clock and one copy at 6 o'clock.
Well, thank God we can make a decision on the 9 pages of Excel files for a $4.5 million budget 1 hour before the meeting.
And again, I would ask you, what recommendations have you brought that helps us look at this and helps us get this?
What is the point you're trying to make? We should reduce this and we should reduce that. And then, but otherwise I need to just shut the fuck up is what you're saying.
You're out of order, Mullins.
No, I think you're out of order.
You're out of order.
Destruction of public property. You gonna punch me while you're at it? You think threatening me? No. Seriously, you have threatened us multiple times. Yeah. Yeah, you have.
He has?
Yeah. Where do you get that? So
right freaking now, everybody saw it.
That was calling.
Show of hands.
Point of order. Back to what we're budget.
Well, we're gonna budget a new gavel.
What?
I'm pretty sure Dwayne will handle that on his own.
Yeah, sure.
He spent hard-earned money purchasing things for
his pitbull's out of order.
So do you.
My motion would be.
All right, pause it.
But doesn't Nick have a motion on? Nick has a motion on the floor.
So is she running the meeting, or is the mayor running the meeting? Because if Mullins talks, he's out of order, and the mayor will break the gavel. But if she talks, he doesn't even say, Nicole, you're out of order. At the very most, he's like, Nicole, please.
Well, I mean, he did break the gavel, so it's kind of hard to bang the gavel. You can't
Well,
just yell
I don't
orders.
know.
You have to bang the gavel. You break the gavel, you better have a
There's no
replacement.
more order, right?
There's no
You
more
should have
order.
used the book.
They're sorry, guys.
I don't know. But they said they're sorry.
What's your motion, Nick?
My motion is
Nick's got a motion on the floor.
And Neko can't shut
we
up.
what Kyle handed us.
I second it.
Okay, we have the motion and the second.
The
to
whole thing,
approve
is
it.
that what you're saying?
Yes, for Public Works, which is $130,000
Oh, public, just
increase.
make sure you're
The
specific about
Public
that.
Works portion, yes.
Call the vote.
They have gone up in viewers to 152.
Yes.
Yes.
Boy, she really likes running the meeting.
No.
Yes.
No. Okay, that motion fails with the tie.
That motion fails with a tie. Where is the other
I
one?
don't know how many motions that night fell with a tie, and they just kept restating the same motions. It was so crazy. I don't know what they were doing in that meeting, but it was pretty wild to me.
I mean, there was just a lot that was going on in that meeting.
It's important for the council and it's important for the citizens to know what's being discussed.
There is potential impact when we're talking about cutting positions. So to Councilmember Mosby's point earlier this evening when she was talking about overtime, if we have somebody call off, we need to fill that spot. Currently, one side of our week, we're running single officers 24/7. Just because we don't have the staffing right now because of injuries, illnesses, et cetera.
Thank you so much for that. I think it's been eye-opening for people. Does anybody else have a question?
I think cutting his positions will be just as, if not, I mean, cutting anyone in public safety is going to be a detriment to this city. I mean, Kyle's presenting 6 positions on public safety. Dwayne's presenting 3 or 4. I mean, none of those cuts are going to benefit this city in any way, shape, or form. Those cuts will not benefit our citizens at all. None of them will.
And just remember, Dwayne's would have got him down to 0. Well, near 0, but 0.
Close to 0.
Close to 0. He's not as good as Tyra at budgets, but he's getting there. He's almost got the art down. He's almost got it down to the penny. Almost 0.
Maybe supposedly, allegedly, if their code enforcement officer was writing those tickets like they were supposed to be about the people's homes and how they had to get cleaned up and everything had to get done, maybe they wouldn't have to balance the budget as bad.
I don't know.
Oh wait, that would put them on a hook, wouldn't it?
They got 140 people watching.
Oh, it dropped down because last I looked, they had 152.
You got 140 just sitting there watching nothing.
But we have to cut somewhere.
I don't want to make a knock on wood statement, but I'm just going to say it. I believe cutting any position from the fire department
coming back.
and a very
Fire
high
or
potential.
police? You said fire.
I'm sorry, and
Oh, snap. Here comes the King's Court. Let's see what is the verdict. Where's the king?
He's right there. He's got the computer to carry and everything else.
Got him. He's right there.
He's very important. He's got the computer. He's got the clipboard. He's got all the paperwork.
Yeah, but does he have a new gavel?
I don't know. I don't see it. I think they have one on order. Oh, well, this would help, wouldn't it?
I know I gotta go inspect on Wednesday. I hate when it's cold. Oh, yeah. In and out.
The time is now 7:28 PM and the executive session has been concluded. The participants in the executive session were Councilman Nick Martinez, Councilman Robert Barone, Councilman Thomas Mullins, Councilwoman Nanette Mosby, Councilwoman Nicole Roberts, myself, Mayor Dwayne Gurley, City Clerk Michelle Grassmick, City Manager Stacy Malinsky, and appearing virtually via Zoom was City Attorney Dan Harvey. For the record, if any person who participated in the executive session believes that any substantial discussion of any matters not included in the motion to go into the executive session occurred during the executive session, or that any improper action occurred during the executive session in violation of the open meetings law, I would ask that you state your concern for the record.
24/6/4024B for unspecified reasons not listed in CRS 24/6/4024B. There is no listing there for the type of executive session that we had.
Okay, Dan, can you follow up on this?
My understanding was it was for legal advice on specific legal questions. I guess I'm not following Councilmember Mullins.
CRS 24/6/402 is a section that details our right to have an executive session, and then the subsections list the exact reasons why we can have an executive session. This was not listed on the executive session meeting, and I can't find any thing that would say that we could have seek legal advice regarding elections in an executive session.
Okay, understood. Yeah, it's a general provision for legal advice generally, but I understand
This guy's a joke.
there's not a specific provision that relates to exactly what we spoke about.
Yeah, he's
right?
getting
Relates
called
to, legal advice in general, what was cited.
Any further concern?
I've expressed my concern. Thank you.
See no others. The next agenda item is the public hearing for the City of Rocky Ford notice of budget. So we will open the public hearing. Time is now 7:30 PM. I'll look to the audience. If anyone would like to speak, I'll ask you to come up to the front, state your name. You will have 3 minutes to provide your testimony for or against any of the items on the budget.
My name is Cody Kurtz. I've been a resident. My family's been a resident, part of this community for generations. I'm a firefighter EMT and currently hold an engineer position for the Rocky Ford Fire Department. I'm here today to address my concerns with the decisions being made by council. Decisions that I personally think will not only impact lives, but will lead to loss of life. Cutting positions in an already understaffed department will negatively impact the quality of life for the citizens of Rocky Ford and the surrounding areas. This will have multiple negative implications. First and foremost is the loss of life that will occur with less staff. Slower response times when seconds count. Fatigued employees when decision-making is critical. Decisions that could mean life or death for ourselves and the citizens of Rocky Ford. Over the past 2 years, I've had the pleasure of working with the most dedicated and caring team that I've ever experienced. We have a very unique department. I've been on different volunteer departments. I've done different ride-alongs with other full-time departments. I've not found a more dedicated team with unwavering care for its citizens. This team is able to cover more area with less personnel than any other department that I've ever experienced or seen. And not only match patient care and firefighting abilities, but in some cases exceed it. I've seen this team perform under the most stressful situations, such as zipping a child in a body bag, and then immediately responding to an elderly patient that has fallen, needing care and reassurance. We have had to stay up 30 hours or more fighting fires and running medical calls, only to come home to our families and try to be a good parent, child, or spouse. It is a heavy choice that we all have to make that has large impacts on our lives and our families' lives. Without this unmatched team making those decisions on a daily basis, it would cost the city dearly. The decisions you make tonight as a council affect all of us. I hope you take them as seriously as we all do with every call for service. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe we should let Kyle outline the budget that we have presented to us before we talk about a bunch of people who are upset about cuts that aren't in this budget.
Stacy, if you all feel like that might, I don't know if you.
I
have any
understand their concern,
discussion.
but if they're not here anymore.
Yeah.
The new
Okay.
budget doesn't have any staffing cuts that you express concern for, so it may.
Yeah, so, yeah, I
it may
don't know,
help
maybe
the
you can
public.
share that briefly and we'll still
Yeah, they
keep
can still-
public hearing open, but that might help.
Might ease some people's minds.
Yes.
The process. So,
absolutely.
yeah, if you would
Thank you,
really
Nick.
quick.
Can I say one thing first, though, before she does that?
Sure.
Because what I wanted to say was that I understand the questions about public safety, but what I understand is that this wildfire thing came into play a couple of years ago. And prior to that, we did not hear anything about being concerned about our fire department and public safety. So we had no concerns before we had wildfire come in that we didn't have enough fire departments, equipment, fire trucks, or fire personnel. And so I was a little offended when I heard that we suddenly have this huge problem with public safety if we got rid of wildfire. All I saw was that, and then I also was offended when there was two reasons for not cutting wildfires: public safety and supplement income for firefighters here. I don't think that if we don't have enough money to pay current employees in our other departments, and we were looking at riffing other employees, other departments, that we should be concerned about supplemental, now that is additional income that firefighters and our chief was making because of wildfire. I don't think everybody knew that. I was told that our fire chief was making an additional $50,000 in addition to his income with Rocky Ford Fire Department, running the wildfire program, and that the firemen with the wildfire program were also making additional money. And so it offended me that you brought up public safety when we didn't have a problem before wildfire. That wasn't an issue, and now all of a sudden it is. And that we should be, as a citizenship, concerned about their extra income while we were riffing, which means we had employees that were going to lose their job that didn't have additional income because of a budget cut, because we needed to cut our budget. That offended me, office chief, fire chief, because I shouldn't have to be concerned as a citizen about your extra income And so I understand now that the budget's different and we probably aren't cutting firemen. But it also, that upset me. In addition, it also upset me, Chief, that you said if we cut firemen and another truck, that other community fire departments would not come and help us if we had a problem. I don't believe that for a minute. If you're telling me that if Swink had to cut part of their fire department during the budget cuts, that our fire department here in Rocky Ford would say, nope, sorry, Swink, we're not going to go help you because you had to cut some of your fire department. I don't think our fire chief,
He's offended,
our
guys.
firemen would do that, nor would any other fire department in this valley. That offended me as well, and it should offend every community person here. That offended me greatly.
Everyone should be offended.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm
Stacey,
offended
it's over
too.
to you, and if you want to kind of just touch on those highlights and the work that's been done since.
Sure. So the budget has changed quite a bit from when we first presented it on December the 2nd, and then we represented it on the 9th with latest conversation with our public safety team to review this proposed budget and to identify some solutions. We made some progress in both the fire and the police departments. So now as the budget stands, we've made the following adjustments to propose in tonight's budget to be passed. Department changes will be eliminating overtime. Overtime will now be tracked just in callouts with fire and EMS, increasing the callout line item in expenditures. Therefore, no staff reductions, but no salary increases. EMS is the same, eliminating overtime that will be tracked in callouts in EMS and fire, increasing the callout line item in expenditures, no staff reductions, but no salary increases. Police department, it was a reduction of one position, most likely administrative, and the other one that was proposed to be cut, Chief is going to focus this position on traffic patrol and looking to increase police fines to the revenue line items in about $75,000 to justify this position. So no officers will be cut in this new proposal. No changes to wildland as one position had already been cut. On the revenue adjustments, increasing the police fines to $75,000, taking the Sursa insurance check for the wrecked trash truck in the amount of $147,000, and then proposing an enterprise franchise fee if approved by ordinance, similar to what Lahana does. That would be charging each enterprise fund $100,000 towards operating costs. And to do that, the council would need to agree to consider passing an ordinance in January for these revenues to be included. So that's basically the highlights.
And council, just when we get to the enterprise fund proposal, I'll address that with you all as well.
Okay. All right, so continuing with the public hearing. Please come on up.
Susan Jung, former mayor of Rocky Ford. I sat up here for 14 consecutive years. 4 of those years were mayor. When I left as mayor 2 years ago, we were $362,000 in the black. If you add $362,000 to the 1.5 million that you're in the hole now, that means $2 million in the hole. As already been talked about tonight, a special election has been tossed around. Does anybody realize what a special election costs? It starts at $5,000 and goes up from there. So it could be 5,000, 10,000, and you're in the hole for 2 million and you want to have a special election for 10,000? Come on, it doesn't make any sense to me. And it's very disheartening to me to think that I sat up there for 14 years and we were never, ever in the block, in the red. And to have left with $362,000 and now see how much is in the red, it just is very disheartening and very hurting to me.
Hey, did you catch that hot mic with Nicole?
Nicole's mic's always
My name
hot,
is,
baby.
Bill Schroer. I live in La Junta, 506 East Fifth Street. And I'm here to just speak on behalf of the library and the museum. And I don't know all of the details. I think their situation's a little bit improved. But regardless, I had sent an email that listed a proposal to the council and to the city manager, and reach out to me, because the proposal I have for the library, it's a library-based community educational outreach center. Because we've got to, I mean, the traditional public libraries are falling behind. That's just a technological, cultural change. But we can broaden, their appeal and their offerings. And what all these communities need, is like an information center where they can, work with like the K through 12 schools, CSU Extension, Otero College, state agencies, where people in town can go and find out about grants, about how to sign up for grants, attached to all of the educational offerings these institutions have. I think we can do it. There's funding out there to tap into. I want to try to make sure we save really good institutions like the library. I mean, that's important. And anyway, I think Councilman Martinez is interested. Reach out to me, city manager. I mean, I'll give you some free labor. I'm a resource economist. I can help with this. And that library you have is just a jewel. Those ladies there are great. I mean, that's my first choice library. It's always neat and clean. It smells good. That's worth fighting for. So reach out to me and good luck. And, you guys do have a hard job. You get inundated. You have to make tough budget decisions. But reach out to people like me. I'll help you, keep pace at least with the library. Anyway, thank you for the time, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank
And,
you.
I would be point on the museum, so just reach out to me, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
And Rob, and
you
Rob.
should have got this email. The museum's just as good
Yeah.
as the library.
I'll look. I think I got 300 emails today, so I'll be back to you on it.
Okay, thank you.
Next speaker.
Can I speak, Mayor?
We have one in the chamber and then we'll move on to the speaker on Zoom.
Hello, my name is James Budnick. I live here in Rocky Ford. I've heard the council last meeting talk a lot about the budget and how you're in the red significantly, just based on what the former mayor has said. But I haven't heard anything from the council or anybody regarding how you're going to generate revenue so that this shortfall doesn't happen again in 26 and in future. Especially since you're so far in the red, as the current or former mayor has stated. Kind of seems irrelevant to keep making these budgets such a big deal when it seems to me like, how are you going to get to 26 if this is the circumstances that you're in now? And I looked online on the Rocky Ford website. Last time I was here, you guys said that you own the Gobin building. That Rocky Ford owns that building. It wasn't listed on the Rocky Ford website at all. Trying to find out the venue location or venue rentals or fees, or just wondering why that would be. If you're in such a shortfall, why aren't you offering these venues that we have here for rent so they can generate more revenue other than raising taxes? The police are now going to add a 75,000. Is that to the people? They're going to start fining more people trying to generate money. And can you explain the enterprise system that you're talking about, how that's gonna work? I mean, last meeting, you said that you were taking from the enterprise funds to pay other funds, and you've been doing that for years on end since you've been in office. And I'm just concerned is you're gonna cut all these positions I think you were gonna cut 5 positions last time, but now you're not gonna cut but 1. I'm just curious if you could explain how you found the loophole that couldn't be found the last meeting. It took you 6 hours. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a speaker on Zoom.
Yes, this is Batman. We could go by whatever we want. So thank you, Mayor, Council. You guys don't take advice from constituents or anybody else in Gotham City. That I can tell you. But please don't interrupt. Thank you very much. So I hear there's a change in the budget. You guys are in the hole, just like Denver is, Colorado Springs is, Walsenburg. Everybody is facing deficits. What I would suggest you guys to do, and believe me, I know budgets like nobody else knows budgets. I am the king of everything, including filing bankruptcy. Okay, so the administration minus fire and PD. So as your city manager, your city clerk who doesn't return phone calls, that I can tell you because I called earlier, and your city attorney could take a 20 to 25% pay cut because admins takes up the most money. You guys could cut all of your travel expenses down to 0 because you guys have a small little city of 3,000 people, 3,000 wonderful people who produce the best melons in the world. So thank you guys. I love all of you. Okay. So going on about this budget, that was just my alter ego. Okay. So thank you for not calling me out of order.
Look at the audience laughing.
You guys cannot pass this budget for at least one illegal person, and I don't mean that as an illegal citizen, one illegal so-called elected person up there, because you guys just had that illegal executive session, which is public record. KOA is watching. So that person cannot vote. It is common sense. That other fellow, I forgot his name because how I told you I watch council meetings all over the United States. You guys need to have the right person in the dang seat. I wonder what your guys' IQ level is. And to the one lady who apologized for her actions last time, well, I asked earlier to resign. So how you said somebody else could fill that seat, probably the former man could fill that seat or the fine gentleman that spoke. So come on. You guys can't pass this, and this attorney didn't even know the CRS that the other council member was speaking of earlier. Like I said, he got his law license from the Cracker Jack box. Thank you. God bless you guys. Love you all.
Love you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Next speaker.
I guess I'll take a public comment just for clarification in case anyone's confused. Specifically about one thing stated by the last person, and that is Johnny McMurray's seat has not been filled. So there's no one sitting illegally in any position here.
Any others on the public hearing for the budget?
Andy Lytle again. And
Echo, bite your
I
leg
was
off.
glad to hear that you'd made some adjustments to the budget to help. I still don't know what amount you are in the hole or in the red, because before that was stated you were $589,476.75 in the red. So can you give me an idea of where you are as far as what that figure is now, or is it still the same?
If you want to provide that, maybe just that net.
Sure. So the number you're talking about, that was to balance the 26 budget.
Correct.
Right now, if we can do the proposal of charging a franchise fee to the enterprise funds, we are in the black $20,000 $314 to balance the budget in 26.
Just a clarification, there's often confusion between debt and deficit. What you're talking about is the deficit. The debt is significantly more. That is a seven-figure number. So we're talking over $1 million.
That you're still in debt.
It's money
But-
that we have appropriated. It's probably the word, Kyle can give me a better word maybe, but it's essentially been taken from enterprise funds to continue paying checks that should be coming out of the general fund. The general fund has no money. It's in the negative. We can't really legally issue checks.
Okay, and I always think that if you come with an issue that bothers you, you should also maybe have some kind of a solution to that situation. And I have been going over figures and stuff, and I know that some communities have non-essential establishments that might be put on temporarily hours or a deduction of some kind to try to help get the city in the black in the general fund. And my figures that I had put together, if it was done, and no offense to any of these establishments, it's just that they're non-essential, and life and death and our fire is more important. You know, your guys' youth is to take care of the community, the well-being and the health and the safety of this community. So that is most important to me, and I think to the residents. So if you would take the figures of the library, the museum, the swimming pool, and I added those figures together. I can give you the figures separately. The library is $68,180. This is salary only. The museum is $10,100. The swimming pool is $52,700. If you add those together, that is $130,985 that could be capitalized to try to help the general fund get into the black. I also checked out extensions for grants, even though I don't understand all the grants that you filed and what all is involved in that grant. What I did understand is that you want to repay $239,561 on that grant. So what I did is I went on the Colorado website today to see if you could file for some kind of an extension or some help with that. I also printed it out so I can leave this with you guys for some more information so you can do that. Because if we negate some of this expense, it gives you time to follow up on extensions or ways that you can help this community and yourselves. So I do have that information. I also went online to find emergency staffing for fire and first responders. I also printed that out for your benefit, and hopefully it will help you to help. I appreciate that you are no longer cutting employees, fire department and the rescue unit. I am very partial with the rescue unit because at 11 o'clock on the 19th, 2019, I had what is called a widowmaker's heart attack. And by the grace of God and their response, I am here today. So I'm very passionate about keeping that service for the community. I also know that some of the grants are under the park and recreation. I don't understand what that grant is for, but I do know that you guys have the Conservation Trust Fund, which is per capita for the people of Rocky Ford. And that is the figure of $12.29 per person. So I know that that is a fund that's only supposed to be used for game or parks and recreation, but I think it's something that can offset or help in paying grants. I don't know all the legalities. I do know that there are ways to address situations. I was on a city council for 8 years and for a short time mayor. So I do know there are some things that you can do. I can appreciate the legalities and everything that you guys have to deal with. But I think the most important part is that you are a working combined unit for the betterment of our community. Thank you. And if you want copies of this or you want these copies, I can give them to you now.
I'd like to thank you for your time and energy, all your diligence you put in all this. I mean, you're trying to come up with solutions. And I greatly appreciate that. It's not just word of mouth. You know, you're actually looking into things and bringing it and presenting it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
I'd ask if you can give it up to city clerk or city manager, and they can get it over to everyone.
Well, there might be somebody for the seat. They might want to try.
Good evening. My name is Darren Kolakowski. I appreciate you guys hearing me. I am the chief for Honey Fire and also the emergency manager for Los Animas County. I just want to commend you guys for, I had a big long list here, but I want to commend you guys for finding a different way to make this all work. Los Animas County and Honey Fire Protection District both benefit from Rocky Ford mutual aid and things like that. I'm glad you guys were able to keep this, because if you cut positions, we wouldn't have that mutual aid, and we rely on that, and I know you guys rely on mutual aid too. So I appreciate that, and that's all I wanted to say. I felt I should say something. I came all this way. I figured I better say something. So thank you all for looking at different ways to fund things. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do.
Any others on the public hearing? Okay, time is 7:58. I will close public hearing. We will move on to old business. Item 10.1 is ordinance number 992, and this is the ordinance setting property taxes for the year 2025. So I'd look for a motion to approve this, and if you'll read it by full title.
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance number 992, an ordinance levying the general property taxes for the year 2025 to help defray the costs of government for the city of Rocky Ford, Colorado for the 2026 budget year, and for the mill levy on each dollar's worth of property as per the assessed value thereon, as shown by the assessor of the Otero County for the year 2024, as fixed by the Board of Equalization on final reading.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please call the vote.
Roberts,
Yes.
Mullins,
Yes.
Barone,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Mosby,
Yes.
Mayor Gurley.
Yes. Okay, ordinance number 992 is passed on final reading. We'll move on to item 10.2, and that's ordinance number 993. And this is the ordinance for the budget. So from this one, I will pass it over to Stacy if you want to just kind of recap where we are, and maybe just based on some of the public comment we've received, maybe if you can touch on a few of those items that came up and kind of where that proposal stands tonight.
Sure. Okay. So, like I said, this is our third attempt to, for a proposed budget. We are now sitting 20,314 in the black. Again, that's not cutting any positions in public safety to address the Parks and Rec grant, that the GOCO grant for a master plan to revitalize Crystal Lake and the fairgrounds. This grant was awarded in 22. We applied again, and it was awarded a second round. So there's no work being done other than a master plan. And it's just, that's what a planning grant is. The money that we're out, we've already spent the money. So this is a reimbursement grant. It's just a matter of when this, the GOCO contractor and the engineers are done with the project, we submit to GOCO and the city gets reimbursed. So that money will be coming back to us, similar to the wildland revenues. On the conservation trust, we do utilize those funds. We have them separated out into golf course, to the swimming pool, and to parks projects. This in 26, we are designating funds for the pool to help pay for the pool chemical. That just increases every year. And we are going to use the parks CTF to help pay for the seasonal staff. So we're trying to best utilize the funds that we have without affecting the general fund. Kyle, do you want to add anything? Do you want to speak on the enterprise fund?
Sure, touch on what they are.
Good evening. The city of Rocky Ford has 3 enterprise funds. That is our water department, our sewer department, and our garbage department. These funds were established just like a business, to run like a business, with profitability, with all profits being retained within that fund. Also, all expenditures related to that potential or to that enterprise should also stay within that fund. So they're self-sustained or self-sustaining. You have your revenues, you have your expenditures, and you treat it just like a business would. You know, so
Except you take the profits and throw it in your general
what an
fund when you
enterprise
need it.
fund, that's pretty much explain it. It is separate than the general fund. It's separate than the grand fund. We have 8 different funds within the city. These particular funds raise revenues by billing our customers, which we create through our utility bills. And those revenues go directly back into those funds. In certain circumstances, the city has transferred monies from the enterprise funds to support other funds that were not cash flowing. It's not unheard of. In fact, I think the last time it happened was sometime around 2019 or 2018, if I remember correctly. The water fund helped out the general fund. So, any other questions on the enterprise fund?
How are they supplementing?
The proposal is to the city of Rocky Ford, the intergovernmental fund, the general fund, is going to charge, just like we charge Black Hills, just like we charge Spectrum, just like we charge Charter Communications. We charge them a franchise fee of 3%, or depending on Black Hills, and different amounts to those different charters or to enterprises. What the city of La Junta has done, and what other municipalities have done, is basically take those enterprise funds and charge them just like they were Black Hills, because they are their own enterprise, just like Black Hills is within our city. Although it's still owned by the city citizens of Rocky Ford, but your taxpayer monies are not paid for those enterprises. Your utility bills, your water bills, your sewer bills, your garbage bills, those are being paid by the citizens within their utility based on usage. Okay. So what we've proposed is to charge those enterprise funds. The general fund will be charging them for having an enterprise within the city limits of Rocky Ford, in order to not have to cut our public safety, not to have to make these cuts that everybody has been very upset about. So we haven't proposed any rate increases as yet. As some of you may know, our water fund is not as profitable as it used to be. Our garbage fund is not as profitable as it used to be. The reason being is our costs just keep going up every year, and we haven't kept up with that by doing rate increases. The only rate increase we've had since 2022 is the sewer increase that we proposed to fund capital improvements, which is our sewer improvement program that's going to be starting here in 2026, as far as the actual going to bid and going to work. So those are the answers to your questions.
And council, I do want to address the franchise fee proposal that's in the budget as well, just so you're all kind of aware. In terms of process, in order for the city to impose a franchise fee, they're required to pass it by ordinance upon 2 readings. So I think there is certainly, and this is kind of up to the city to kind of assess, but I mean, there's potentially obviously some risk with requiring that there be an ordinance that needs to be passed, and assuming that it will be passed. So I just want to kind of point that out. I mean, as we're kind of proposing this in the budget itself, it's as a proposed enterprise franchise fee budget line. You know, there isn't an appropriation for that, but it's kind of based on more anticipated revenue. So I think there's some risk that I think city council needs to kind of weigh on this. And I think if the risk for that is that you'd like to move forward kind of with this proposal, with being aware of those risks, then I think this is something that needs to be kind of put on 2026's agenda, you know, as soon as possible, just so we can kind of consider and go through the process for a franchise fee. And that's something I can kind of help council with in terms of putting together. But I just wanted to kind of point out those features.
Thank you.
That doesn't mean that if it's saying eventually, I guess you're gonna have to raise those rates to cover that franchise. Because you're not making that.
Well, we're not making money within the general fund. The enterprise funds are profitable. In fact, they have approximately $2.8 billion in reserves that has accumulated over a number of years in retained earnings. So if the enterprise funds weren't in a position to assist the general fund, or we wouldn't even be proposing this if there weren't funds available. In it at some point or another, but that can be said for any or for taxes. It's just inevitable as everything goes up. At some point or another, you have to make revenue increases, to provide those services. It's just the way it is.
For clarification, citizens expressed that there's concern about the longevity and sustainability of this program. And for context, you're saying there's approximately reserves in these enterprise funds collectively. Can you explain to us roughly what that was 3 years ago in those funds?
Off the top of my head,
My understanding is around 4 million.
that's probably correct. I think it was somewhere around 3.8.
So since that time, we've drained $2 million.
Did you say 2.8 or 1.8? Because I heard you
He
say
said 2.8.
2.8.
Is it 2.8 reserves right now?
Yes,
Okay.
2.8. We've got 1.8 in pooled cash and $1 million in Colorado Trust, which is our investment account. That's
So in a couple of years, we have lost $600,000 or so each year.
Yeah, that's correct.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions on the general fund? So I have a question about can you speak to the enterprise funds and those, I guess, position on those ones?
Yeah. Are you talking about revenues or are you talking about their
Just-
cash reserves or which?
I get the 2026 proposed, that will be also approving. These will all
So
be,
the budget.
right, yeah.
Okay. Yes, we can. As soon as I get through the general fund, thank you. The 2026 Water Department budget is, the revenues total $1.5 million, 1,514,000 to be exact. $100,000 of that revenue is money that's set aside within our facility fee that's sitting at Community Banks of Colorado. That money is going to be transferred from that construction account to pay for our capital improvements within that fund. That's our water capital improvement plan, which last year we spent $100,000. This year, we're going to be spending also another $100,000 to upgrade our SCADA program as well as our wells and pumps and such so that are needing repairs. With the SCADA program has been a problem for a while now. We were basically flooding out the golf course from the water tower, just overflowing on a weekly basis. That those are the type of issues that are going to be fixed with this, with those improvements. Again, although they're identified within my budgets, they're not actually a budgetable item. It's basically money that we're just taking as it's a capitalized expenditure. It's $100,000 that's moving from Community Banks of Colorado and going directly to pay those capital improvements. Okay. The expenditures for the year are at 1.7 million, which if you do the math, that would be a $247,000 operating or net loss. But that's before depreciation and the capitalized expenditures. If you add back depreciation, the proposed franchise fee of $100,000, the net operating income would be $79,000 in the black. The problem with that is that we're not funding our future depreciation. We're not paying depreciation. We're not only covering our operating costs, but we're also not covering our expenditures to cover future improvements, which is what depreciation is. That money needs to be retained so that when it's time to do a sewer project or for a water project, those things are basically there. Right. Okay. Any other question on the water fund?
I guess and none on there. And Dan, I guess the question I have to you is this, as it's presented, the revenues, the expenses would exceed the revenues. Do we need this to be adjusted to remove those CapEx and depreciation to show that so that way the expenditures don't exceed revenues?
Yeah, I mean, you would need to pass a budget where the expenses do not exceed the revenue. So yeah, there needs to be that adjustment.
Excuse me, Dan, unless there are reserves in place that we can't.
Right.
We can
Exactly.
pass a deficit budget as long as there are reserves in there. And
Correct.
And these are non-cash expenditures, like I said, although I've identified them so that council knows when we pull $100,000 out of Community Banks of Colorado, they aren't going, well, what was that for? I want to make sure that the citizens and the council knew that that's what we were doing.
Thank you for the
Yeah.
transparency.
So
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah. If there's reserves, that would be the only way that there could be any type of
right
expenses that exceed revenue. So finance director is correct in that respect.
Thank you.
So so this would be, we wouldn't have to do any amendments to this as is. The way that it's showing it as the deficit, but then we know that there's that depreciation in CapEx. So we don't need to make any amendments to make this balance.
No, I think so let me think of this logistically. So we have the budget, and then there was amendments that were made at the last meeting to the budget that was presented to the public. So I think if city council wanted to pass this version of the budget, which is effectively more amendments to the previous one, I think you would just have to be clear that you're effectively passing the budget as amended by this particular version, as presented by the finance director.
Right. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to get into the water fund in the last meeting, this is a separate fund with a separate budget altogether, Dan. This is one of the enterprise funds. We did, like I said, we had made no changes up till tonight on this. It had stayed the same for the 2 weeks that we worked on the other budget. While we were working on the general fund, these all stayed the same. The only changes now is the proposed $100,000 franchise fees, which is up to you guys. You know, it solves our short-term problems, but you know, until we get our spending under control, you know, that's where we need to focus on.
Yeah, and certainly, like I said, I would just note kind of the points that I made in terms of kind of, you know, weighing the risk and passing it with this franchise fee idea as well. So,
okay, thank you.
Yep, so just on that, what was clarifying is we would be, any action would be just going with the new proposed amendments. And then they'd be able to look at this and match that up to what was proposed on the second.
No, the franchise fee is going to take 2 readings to approve it.
Mhm.
And is there like, how long do we have to do this to get the franchise fee agreed on? By
No,
end of
we
January or-
can make changes to the budget between the first reading and second reading, which is what we're doing.
But for the franchise.
Yeah,
He's asking about the franchise
Oh, the
fees
franchise fees, we need to have an ordinance drawn up in January
and do that as soon as possible.
yes, probably.
Yeah.
Hopefully the very next meeting, and Dan, we're probably going to ask you to write that ordinance for us. So.
yeah, and so this would have to be 2 readings, like I said. So yeah, this would have to be. I mean, I would suggest if City Council passes its budget with this amendment concerning the franchise fee, then yeah, I would say let's shoot for January to kind of get this before City Council for consideration. But I mean, the other thing I want to point out too is that, I mean, by passing this budget, we're not, just so I'm clear, that we're passing this budget, City Council is not passing the franchise fee, right? So the function of passing the budget doesn't actually create the franchise fee. It's actually the act that we would, say do in January and doing the 2 readings, and then that imposes the franchise fee. So again, that's kind of the risk that I'm pointing out here, which is that City Council can kind of decide to consider this franchise fee going forward, but by just passing the budget, you're not agreeing to it. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
So one question I'm seeing kind of pop up on here is we discussed some cuts to different positions and reduction in staff or hours in some places, specifically the library. Is that still in here? Are we going from a 1.5 to 2 part-time at the library still?
That is still within the budget.
Within
yes.
this?
Yes.
And then the other question I think they're asking is, were there going to be any cuts made at the museum and or swimming pool in this budget? And I'm not seeing any. The only change I'm still seeing is that going at the library from a full-time and a part-time to 2 part-time positions.
That's the only material change of everything that you discussed.
Okay.
What about the 2 ambulances that were the chassis that's already been purchased? Where do we stand on that?
They are still in the budget.
Still in the budget?
They are still in
We'll
the
have
budget.
money to equip them?
It's there. I mean, it's budgeted as of right now. I mean, it balances.
So
Sort of.
That's where we end up as far as what the actual cost ends up. I
The thing
mean,
about, I just wanted to point this out, it's the thing about these ambulances, the net effect, they look, when you look at the budget, you see a $450,000 expenditure, and then you have $353,000 in revenue. Well, we're basically within that, we're getting 2 ambulances for basically $50,000 a piece. That you couldn't beat that. Now, the problem that we've got is the upfitting that increased $100,000, and it's for the 1 ambulance that we're looking at. The other one's, my guess is it's going to be as much, if not more, whenever it's ready to go into that. But they're still in the budget as of right now. I'll leave that to you guys. What we want to do with that, if we can do anything, as far as I've from what I've read, both those grants
have expired. And unless there's a modification that the city of, that the fire EMS department has received that I haven't seen, the grants expired in June of this year, 2025, for the second ambulance, and the other one expired at the end of the fiscal year for the state in June of 2024. So, I don't know if those things have been modified and extended. If not, then we would have to reapply for them. So.
Chief's shaking his head yes, that they've been extended.
Yeah, absolutely.
The state has granted us extensions, and I can share that information with the council and Kyle.
So what extensions is it for 12 months, 6 months?
They typically allow us 6 months, and we just give our updates every 6 months. Sometimes they prefer quarterly. They'll reach out to us to see if we've reached or if we've got any other updated information, but they have allowed the extensions.
Do you know to when is this current extension is?
Well, the grant that we applied for the first ambulance was in 2022. They keep allowing us the extensions because they understand how long it takes to get a chassis and get an ambulance built.
So, but I guess the question I'm trying to ask is the extension, when does the extension expire? To where you got to reapply?
When we complete the grant.
When you complete the grant.
When we complete the purchase and we complete the grant.
You say you can get us this information. We've seen you here multiple times. Why have we not gotten this information yet?
I have shared it.
I haven't seen it.
I'm sorry if you haven't seen it, but you will get it.
So I'm trying to save these ambulances. I'd like to know more information on those. We've asked before.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Although they do grant, and I'm happy to hear that we do have those extensions. But they don't extend past the fiscal year.
Right.
And that's the state has to do that. I mean, if like the last extension I think was in October, and it'll run through into the next year, June 30th. And then at that point, the state's budget gets redone and reappropriated so that at that point it's gonna change. So I don't necessarily expect that we're gonna be getting both these ambulances next year, but they're budgeted for. Okay.
So just to clarify, going back to the enterprise funds, we're using money that we have saved up, and this is going to leave us with nothing in savings. How do we plan for a city like that? How do we, unfortunately, we lost a trash truck last year, and we had to scramble to figure out how to do that. If we're using these funds to pay this franchise fee to help the general fund, that leaves us without being able to replace equipment that is very badly in need of replacement over there for all those enterprise departments. So if they're not, if they're not making enough profit, then yes, it goes back to like the lady out here said, is it's going to have to be reflected in our bills. And all this just doesn't seem to, I know we call it a balanced budget, but it doesn't seem like we're robbing Peter to pay Paul. It looks like it's a Band-Aid, and I don't want to pass a Band-Aid and then be struggling all next year to get this back in order.
Well, it's funny you say that because we were having the same discussion this morning. It's this, as most everybody knows here in the room, except probably some of the citizens, in 2027, our dispatch department is probably going to be going. This Band-Aid to get us to that range. The hope is that this Band-Aid, as you call it, is just that. It's something just until January 2027. At which point our sales tax base should be able to just now support our.
Dan, Kyle, I have a legal concern. Franchise fees, as I understand them, are to be utilized
for public right-of-way access use. That's the fee. That's how I read it. Dan, correct me if I'm wrong. But I've understood it, it's not allowed to be used for the sole purpose of propping up a general fund. And we can pedantically say, well, that's not what we're using it for. We're actually using it for this, but we've openly discussed in meeting, this is exactly what we're using it for, to prop up the general fund.
I think you'd be correct if we were talking about a direct transfer. This is something that, like I said, the city of Lahana did. They had that investigated and thoroughly searched as far as the legality of it. Even Dan agrees with the legality of us doing this. Our auditors, in fact, to be all honest, we can all thank JR for this, because JR brought this to my attention back in, I don't know, probably July or August. Said, you know, you might want to look into this. Well, at the time I was still trying to balance the budget without having to do that.
But we're going to have to do a transfer from, I mean, despite this, we're still going to have to do a transfer from enterprise funds.
Well,
in order to balance the-
that's a lot less legal. I mean, as far as going down that road, and that's something that we're gonna. You're right. I mean, these are all things that we're gonna have to discuss, and have our attorneys and check the precedents to see if we can do it.
And to be clear, since we're really only talking about some really minute cuts to the budget overall, some travel expense, some trainings, stuff like that.
Sure.
We haven't increased revenue. We have really significantly decreased expenditures. We're in the same place we have. We've just made it look black. And to me, in my mind, that sounds like we're in the same situation where we're going to be having this conversation where, are we going to be able to make paychecks in 18 months? Are we going to be able to continue to operate the museum library pool? I mean, I've heard people say like, yeah, we should close the museum, close the pool, close the library, close all the parks. Those are essential too.
Mm-hmm.
Our community relies on those. We have to have safe places for our children. And I don't see how this really addresses that, frankly. I mean, we're in a situation where if we keep moving down this path, it'll become more and more difficult because we'll have less and less reserves to address the issue. And we're setting up future generations for utter failure. I mean, a new council will be in here soon, very, very soon. And they're going to come in with what is essentially a $700,000 deficit with no reserves in general fund and bleeding enterprise funds that aren't going to be able to replace trash trucks, that aren't going to be able to work on the lines, they aren't going to be able to get the parts they need, and they aren't going to be able to hire people that they need to do their jobs. My concern is that all it does is pass the buck on to the next generation, which is going to have absolutely 0% chance to succeed. And we're going to be here having this exact same conversation, only next time we won't have enterprise funds to take advantage of, because the enterprise funds are not recouping what we're taking from them. That's my concern. Is any of that valid, invalid?
No, I think it's all valid. I think it's all very valid. And again, I look at this as to basically a bridge to get us to 2027 to where our revenues and our sales tax base are back within line.
Well, how
with
much
each
does it
other.
help to have dispatch move? I mean, is that really going to resolve the budgetary issue, just having dispatch move?
Well,
Not completely, but
600,000.
some. I mean, it
It's-
costs
I'm
us.
asking Kyle, I'm sorry. I'll
Didn't
give you
it
a chance to speak.
cost
Yeah.
us under?
Let that question go to Kyle.
Yeah, it's approximately $500,000 to $600,000 per year, you know? So, you know, that's significant in a town of our size.
So, and when you say like, so that's a bridge to get to there, but to the citizens to know, to the point, yeah, these enterprise funds are supposed to, when you pay your water bill, the idea is that you're paying for water. You're paying for water, you're paying for the lines, you're paying for the people to maintain them. And we will have to raise taxes, and we're gonna have to raise rates, not taxes. It's gonna be a tax but we're gonna call it a rate. And what that's gonna amount to is, by my calculations, if we're doing 100,000 or more per account, we've got 1,500 households, 1,200 households, somewhere in that range in the city. That's 300,000 divided by that number. It's a significant, I mean, we've had conversations about the elderly here who can't afford food, who can't afford medicine. And now we're talking, we're just gonna hit them with $300 extra every year. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm sorry, I'm starting to talk to you, I'm not asking questions.
No,
so I
that's okay.
apologize for
That's
that.
all right. But it was something that I want to make sure that I'm clear about this. This isn't something that I'm necessarily passing on to the citizens of Rocky Ford within this proposal.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. My point is in order to make it to that sustainable point that you're talking about, rates have to increase.
Absolutely, but they were going to have to increase anyway. I mean,
But now they're gonna have to increase by $100,000.
well, not if we don't do it in 2026, but they wouldn't have to pay for that anyway, because we do have the reserves to do that through 2027. You know, this is, again, and then in 2026 comes around, now I don't have a dispatch department any longer. That's another $500,000 back to it, but I still have, and I still have my same tax base.
So your recommendation would be at that point, we dissolve these franchise fees.
If the general fund is back in the black, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, I liked the budget you brought us last week a lot better. I know it hurt some people. I know there were some cuts, but from what I'm seeing and what I've talked about with citizens throughout the last week is, I like, yeah, we can say we want to, in a year, look at this and not use these franchise fees, but let's be honest, everybody. Have you ever seen the government back off of something? I mean, we were told 2 weeks to cancel the curve. I mean, it's a Band-Aid to kick things down the road to save wildland fire. And I disagree with it. And I think a lot of other people agree with me.
I just have one more. Sir, probably just speak. Should we move forward with this, I don't see why we're keeping all these positions, but then cutting a public safety officer. I talked with Chief Wallace. I've heard that it's administrative. Well, he's told me that his workload would go from approximately 125%, which you shouldn't have people doing more than they should do already. Their attention's going to wane. Their ability to perform, their performance will go down if they're doing more than 100%. He said it would go up by doing this to 175%, doing 2 jobs. So if the council were to move forward with this, I would like to see those franchise fees increase to 110,000 so that we can keep that position. Furthermore, we should keep the library position as well. We're not making cuts to positions. We shouldn't make cuts to positions. That's my point.
Okay. Anybody else?
Questions, feedback here?
Okay.
Anything?
I'm good with it.
JR?
You can't. Thank you. Sorry about that, Michelle. Part of the reason for this is so that on the minute. City of Lahana does an conversation, several people, City of Lahana, about this. They do an ongoing balancing act. And all I can say to you as a council is, it's part of your job is to do an ongoing balancing act. You can't just say, oh, we got a treasure chest over here, let's grab it and go. It work that way. You have to make sure your enterprise funds are healthy. It works for Lahana because they concentrate on keeping those enterprise funds healthy. They don't steal the seed corn. Okay? Hang on a sec. I'll be glad to take questions in a minute, Thomas. The point is that you can't just turn your back on the budget, any part of the budget. You've got to be looking at it every month and looking at it with a critical eye. Yes, sir.
You think that our enterprise funds are being treated appropriately? Do you feel our?
Yes, yes, I do, because they provide a service the same as Black Hills Energy provides electricity, provides natural gas. CenturyLink provides at least some folks telephone service. You know, so we have cable services out there that are also paying enterprise funds. The city of Lahana has had,
It's like 2% or something.
let me, like, this is not something new for them, okay? They've been doing this for at least 25 years now. That's my understanding. That's what I've been told. But they have been reasonably successful, council after council, of doing this balancing act by watching everything, not necessarily with an eagle eye, but watching it and not just saying, "Ah, we got through that one." Okay, do you have any other questions? But that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just off the top, what like dollar amount we're charging Black Hills?
Yeah, I think it's $93,000 for the electricity and $50,000 for the gas.
Significantly more than charges.
Well, that's true, but there, we also service people outside of our city limits with our taps and stuff where they're only being, their franchise fees is only someone who's specifically within our city limits. So. Like, 800 to 1,000 or so.
Okay, thank you for that.
Any other questions on the water fund? Okay.
Any other questions from council?
No questions?
Okay, so we do have this proposal. It does come in where the expenses do not oversee the revenues. We, have heard that there are, some big changes and some revenues that would be brought in from the enterprise funds, and that's kind of where that revenues come on that side. And then also the trash truck check. So kind of heard what the changes are. Look for any other feedback or any action here.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we, it's number 993 with the amendment that we increase the franchise fees to the enterprise funds, all three of them, to $115,000, and that we increase the budget line item for salaries and library and also in the police department to save both of those positions.
What does that change on that, Kyle?
What's that?
What would that, does that make any big changes, or is that just basically increasing?
I haven't
that
done the
and
math.
Creates just an additional,
It would increase $45,000 in revenue.
Right.
And then it would, there's $23,000 in the black.
20.
20. Those two should add up enough to cover those two positions. Can you fact check that?
Well, I'm pretty sure that just the administrative position alone is $48,000 when you add back benefits.
Then I'd amend my motion to increase the franchise fees to $125,000 so that we can certainly run in the black and cover both of those positions. Nobody to save the library.
Put fires out in other places
I'd love to save the library. I just don't think that this is the way to do it. I think this is kicking the can down the road to the next council.
The library's not being cut completely. The library.
You're cutting enough hours that you're gonna affect people.
Any second? Motion dies from lack of a second.
I make a
Any
motion.
other action?
I make a motion that we approve the 2026 budget with the amendments presented by Kyle as is, as presented.
For a second.
We have the motion from Roberts, second from Mosby. Open it up just for a discussion here. If anyone wants to make any comments.
I don't understand why we're cutting an administration position from the police department when he said that it's gonna put his workload into an incredible level, and how nobody is concerned about taking money from the enterprise funds to save fire positions, but when it comes to saving a police position, it just doesn't seem like there's any concern at all. I unilaterally will not vote for this. It was already a bad proposal that's gonna screw future generations. The least we could do is make it balanced.
Any other comments? Martinez? Barone?
I think
See? No. Roberts?
So, you know, I'd like to just make one comment though. Whatever we decide tonight, it's just temporary. It's not a permanent thing. We can do this every year. We can come and, you know, reassess this later on. This isn't a lifetime change. This is a yearly budget thing. So whatever we do tonight is just for the next year. I mean, you know, and
It's really hard to get back once you cut stuff.
well, you know, sometimes, and we just do our due diligence, and I mean, citizens have to realize too, I mean, inflation, we all gotta step up to it. In poorest county, poorest city in the county, the poorest county in the state, mostly retirees. I mean, it's hard to say, yeah, raise, you know, any sales tax, a franchise, whatever. It's hard to do it, but it has to be done if we want to continue with the services that we have. You know, I mean,
I should I say anything or?
If you want to.
Well, I think to add to Robert's statement there, you know, over the last 2 weeks, that we've been trying to get this budget passed. Actually, it's 3 weeks, but, you know, I'm sure most of everybody have heard. I mean, there are arguments for both ways, or, you know, for and against, spending in public spend or in public safety. It's obvious to me that it's, especially by the turnout here tonight, the amount of uniforms in here tonight, that it's very important to the citizens of Rocky Ford. And if it is that important, then unfortunately, there's a cost associated with that. And, you know, it's, be it a sales tax or whatever, but, you know, we fixed this budget right here, but at some point or another, we're going to have to be asking for a sales tax increase to pay for public safety. And to know that. There's just no way around it. But, you know, but it's got us to 2026.
Make it smaller.
Right, or cut expenditures. And we don't have enough assets as far as fixed assets in the city that we could sell that is going to make enough of a difference.
We have a motion.
Yep, we're still on discussion.
from what I've heard of the citizens, I don't think they want to cut back any services.
I don't either. But again, there's a cost associated with that. That's all the point I'm trying to make.
Would you support them keeping that officer there in an administrative position to help them? Considering he's talking about a 200% workload on top of running the dog pound?
I understand it's going to be harder. Everybody, if the chief didn't think it was possible to do, I'm sure he wouldn't have presented it. It's going to be harder. It's going to do diligence, and citizens, the dogs. How many dog lovers we have in Rocky Ford? Maybe we get somebody down to help with the dogs in the morning.
I'll come help you.
You know, to help them out. Somebody water them, feed them. If they're good enough for walks, that's what citizens step up to do that. I mean, Nicole said she'd do it. I'd help you guys out.
I'd come down at least a couple days a week to help you feed and water and walk the dogs in the morning. Let me know when you need some help. I'll be right there.
Come summertime to cut the grass, maybe I'll borrow a riding mower and I help you guys out. I mean, I'm getting old. I still got my maintenance to do on my stuff, but that's where the citizens, we need to step up. This is our community. Let's take control of it.
Our community. Yeah. It sounds like when it comes to the police, pull yourself up by the bootstraps.
Okay. Yeah, so a couple things that I'll comment. I think, kind of starting from where we're at tonight, I want to say thank you to, Stacy and Kyle and all of our directors, or especially I know on the public safety side, that's where a lot of the cuts were being proposed. You all came together and found a way to make this work. It sounds like everyone was in agreement with what was proposed tonight. So I'm definitely taking that into consideration, whereas that last one, there was definitely a lot of, pushback. So, I'm taking that into consideration, and I think we have a good path forward here, knowing that it was, put together by the people who we're going to be tasked with managing this. Second thing is, kind of where we came on first reading. I had my ideas. We hear some other ideas. Mine's were put together in a more formal, format. I've never criticized anyone's idea or plan or project, and this is kind of going back to when I was in school. Never criticized or knocked anyone's plan without having my own. I've never just said no, that won't work, without being willing to come up with a solution. So I will always be willing to step up and take the lead when needed, and be willing to offer my ideas. And I know my ideas aren't always right, and that's where talking to the community means the most, and that's what I do. So I want to say, thank you for everyone along the way. And, definitely over the last week that has reached out and expressed, their concerns. And then we've seen from the community, what matters the most to people. And also with that, I think we also have to see those interests. And I think that's where that balancing act really comes in, because everyone has those services or those departments that matter the most to them. And yeah, our job is finding that balance and being able to provide for everyone. Not everyone has young children or, goes to the parks or goes golfing, but some people do in the community. And that's why we have all these different services, different amenities, different resources, is because it matters to somebody. Might not matter to everyone, but it does matter to someone. And, that's our job. Seeing, I guess how we're getting here tonight. I agree over there. It doesn't change the fact that we're going to be pulling revenues from the enterprise fund. I do agree with the franchise fee. It is a utility and it is common practice, and that's something that we've never done. But then that money is going to have to be made up somewhere, because it is going to it's going to lower their profitability. Two, I think facts that I, look at through all of this, and, we have been looking at budget ongoing. We haven't had any sales tax increase since 2017. We haven't had a mill levy increase since 2017. So those are the two big areas that fund our services, that fund our city, that we all own here. So 2017, 8 years, going into 26, 9 years. I hope people can agree that it's time, and we can't keep operating with today's expenses on 2017's rates. On the other, kind of in the other area of that is, I think in educating and, continuing to do that. And, however we can as council, and if there's any ideas on, what information really helps, or, when people say they want to see where the money's going, there's all these hundreds of line items, so kind of help us understand what you really want to see. Budgets are posted publicly, audits are done every year and publicly posted. So, kind of help us help the community best understand, what it is. So that way we can really keep that close eye on this as we go. But we do come to this point where, things got to change, and it's on, it has to be on the revenue side. Last thing I'll say is, over the last 3 years, 4 years, we've seen public safety funding increase, and that's something that I am proud of. And I will be voting with that. And, we've seen our police department funding levels go from 400,000 up to close to up to $1 million. We've seen our fire department, we've seen those programs, ambulance dispatch. So we are investing in public safety, and that shows in that budget. If you look at 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and what we're proposing for 2026. No other comments. We have a motion and a second. Call the vote.
Barone,
Yes.
Martinez,
No.
Mosby,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Mullins,
No.
Mayor Gudele.
Yes. Ordinance number 993, an ordinance summarizing expenditures and revenues for each fund and adopting a budget for the city of Rocky Ford, Colorado for the calendar year beginning on the first day of January 2026 and ending on the last day of December 2026 has passed on final reading with a vote of 4-2. We'll move on to item 10.3. That's ordinance number 994. And this is appropriating sums of money to the various funds. I'd look for action on this one with full title.
I make a motion that we approve ordinance number 994, an ordinance appropriating sums of money to the various funds in the amount of and for the purpose as set forth in the ordinance for the city of Rocky Ford, Colorado for the year 2026 budget year on final reading.
I second.
We have the motion from Roberts, second from Mosby. Call the vote.
Barone,
Yes.
Martinez,
No.
Mosby,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Mullins,
No. It's a disgrace to the police.
Mayor Gudele.
Yes. Ordinance number 994, an ordinance appropriating sums of money to the various funds in the amount of and for the purpose as set forth in the ordinance for the city of Rocky Ford, Colorado for the year 2026 budget year has been approved on final reading with the vote of 4-2. We will move on to new business, item 11.1, and that is an IGA for dispatch services between the city of Rocky Ford and city of Lahana. Take the lead on that one.
Have presented the latest copy. Lahana's attorney was not quite satisfied with the first copy that I presented. So they made some changes. We send it to our attorneys. They made a counter change, and I do believe that this is the final. And so I'm looking to hopefully approve this.
Just to clarify, they accepted all our changes?
I talked to Chief Brad Davidson today, and he said that he hadn't heard back of any changes needed.
Okay.
Mr.
So as
Harvey?
of now, yes.
I was gonna ask Mr. Harvey, is he all happy with the, has he seen the final?
They
This
did the
is
final.
theirs.
Our attorneys did the final.
Yeah, so our office did take a look at it.
You good with it?
We're good.
Cool.
Make 'em-
Motion, we proposed intergovernmental agreement for dispatch services between the city of Rocky Ford on behalf of the Rocky Ford Emergency Communications Center and the city of La Junta.
I'll second.
Okay, we have the motion from Mullins, second from Roberts. Call the vote.
Martinez,
Yes.
Mosby,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Mullins,
Yes.
Barone,
Yes.
Mayor Gurley.
Yes. That IGA is approved unanimously.
Thank you.
And we do know that the city of La Junta was also meeting this evening, so if they approved over there, this
As
should
long as
be,
they approved it over there tonight,
Yep.
we're good to go.
Should be good.
Otherwise, I'll be back.
all right, thank you.
Hopefully before. Hopefully not. Just kidding.
Unless you're here tomorrow,
there's no ASAP.
thing until January, so.
Hang out with us tomorrow.
Nope.
We're
You want it? You want it? Let's get it very quick.
we're all set on this one.
Okay.
Thank you, June.
Thank you, June.
That concludes old business. We do have a public comment, so if anyone would like to address council again on any items not on the agenda, welcome to come up for public comment now. Seeing none. We have one.
So we are, the taxpayers of Rocky Ford, we are paying the fire department to go put fires out in places other than Rocky Ford.
Yes.
At the cost of, how much is that again?
Well, they're not paying.
Well, I know Rocky Ford taxpayers are paying, well, they get paid by us to get the money back, right?
So in a sense, technically, the other people reimburse us for those costs, so we don't actually.
Rocky Ford taxpayers put the money up.
And we get fully reimbursed plus additional monies for our.
I don't think he's asking about wildland.
Let's-
I think
yep,
he's asking
let's-
about
let's
going
let-
to McManzy or Fowler.
Let's let the speaker, provide comment. Thank you. Any others?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that Chief Wallace has bent over backwards to make it so that this budget worked. And he did so thinking that there were absolutely no other options to keep this city afloat. And we just said to heck with it. We're not going to be fiscally responsible. We're not going to have accounts that can sustain us for more than a certain number of months. And instead of treating all of these departments in the same boat, we singled them out. We did that with the library as well. I think it's disgraceful, and I don't really see a way that it doesn't put public safety at risk. I think our police staff, especially under Chief Wallace leadership, is the best that it's ever been. And I think this is sacrificing public safety on a level that's pretty bad. And with that, I'm done for the evening. Thank you.
Okay, no other business. Call meeting adjourned.
Sorry.
You all suck.
Hello, folks.
And
Wow.
found a way to make this work. It sounds like everyone was in agreement with what was proposed tonight. So
Wow,
I'm
what the hell
definitely
happened?
taking that
It
into
skipped out.
consideration, whereas
Bump-
that last
bumped
one,
it
there was
back.
definitely a lot of, pushback. So, I'm taking that into consideration and
I don't know how you
I
did
think we
there.
have a
I didn't
good path
touch it.
forward
It
here,
skipped back.
knowing that it was, put together by the people who we're going to be tasked with managing this.
Wow. Well, the meeting ended. They literally shut down the Zoom like within 5 to 10 seconds of that thing of them.
Oh man.
of
Otto,
the-
the watchdog. Good to see you, Otto.
Oh,
Sorry, we kind of maybe missed you. a little
evening,
bit,
Otto.
but we had to get that on record. You know how it goes, Otto. You're a pro. So, yeah, we got that. Guys, I'm trying to get at least one, maybe two of the council members
from Rocky Ford to come on tomorrow night and have a show with us and kind of discuss what was talked about tonight and what that may look like for Rocky Ford in the future, in their opinion. And maybe take solutions, maybe some of the audience members there have some solutions that maybe these council members could even take with them, so we're gonna hope that we are able to get that done. But I think we should have some Rocky Ford Council tomorrow night show. If you guys would like to check that out, make sure you stop by. I think we'll be doing that here on this channel. But if not, well, things happen, it's a possibility. I can't force anybody to come up here or anything, but we've had the mayor up here. It'd be nice to hear from some council members from over there. So we've pretty much extended the offer to all of them. And yeah, maybe we can get a little more insight. It's not so rushed. Not, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
It'd be nice to pick their brains a little bit. And, each one of them has their individual ideas on how things should be and how to get there, I think. So no matter which one may or may not come up, I mean, we can only have two, obviously, right? We can't be breaking the law here, guys. So I can only have max 2. So I'm hoping for at least 1, maybe 2. And I mean, they don't owe us anything. So it's not like we can make them come on. We're just hoping that they do, if so, I think we'll be live maybe around 6 o'clock-ish, 5, 6 o'clock-ish, Colorado, my time. So, and we'll see if we can't get any further details and solutions to try to help Rocky Ford. It sounds like they were able to avert some of the crisis, but they're still in crisis.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out how they went from cutting what I think Dwayne wanted to cut like five positions, maybe 6.
Well, they just took it from different areas, right? Like the overtime, that was a huge budget, right? And then like they're like, oh, we're not cutting positions, but it sounded like they were cutting positions at the library. But is the library or something else maybe? I don't know.
And I mean, is the 2 guys that quit, is that in the equation as well? So my question is because those 2 guys, got upset about this and ended up quitting, can they get their job back? Like, because they thought that they were going to get fired anyways. So I mean, what's the point, right? They just let it go anyways. So can they get their job back, or can they get budgeted back in? Or was this with the conclusion that the 2 people quit?
I think it was under the impression that they're gone.
Right. But clarification would always be cool. So like I say, hopefully we'll be able to bring that out tomorrow. We got a couple other things through the week planned out. We got some more body cam videos. We've got a couple more things this week, I think. So it's always an adventure here.
Always.
I mean, this was supposed to be like a pretty quick meeting, I assumed. Boy, did that make an ass out of me.
Yeah, we're at 3 hours, 9 minutes. 3 hours, 9 minutes.
I shouldn't assume that shit, huh? Hey, but I appreciate everybody who stopped in. Everybody up here that, obviously is on panel. John, Nicole, you people. Lori, you're your half participation trophy is halfway in the mail. We appreciate
And it's
you.
halfway to you.
And it's halfway to you. Yeah, we appreciate you, Lori, and everybody in chat, man. Thanks for stopping in. I know these meetings ain't never fucking, they ain't never nothing fun really, but sometimes they get spicy.
Right?
So, you guys have a great night. Catch you
Night,
tomorrow.
everybody.
You have one shot on stage, what you got to play? Generic drops for days, still the people rage. Am I not insane? Can you stop and explain why these drops are so lame? Is money buying you fame? I'm fucking on, I'm killing it with this song. You haters can sing along or go back where you belong. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with giving up, moving on. Cause I took your girl to prom, she can't help but sing this song. Comes off till the lights go out, till my legs give out. Can't shut my mouth till the smoke clears out. And my high progress, I'ma rip this shit till my bones collapse. Till the roof comes off, till the lights go out, till my legs give out. Can't shut my mouth till the smoke clears out. And my high progress, I'ma rip this shit till my bones collapse. I'm so gone, faded up a 30 rack. She's so on like a light switch, flirting back. There's nothing wrong with the way that she's working that. I just want that body bad, come on baby, bring it back. I'm so gone, faded up a 30 rack. She's so on like a light switch, flirting back. There's nothing wrong with the way that she's working that. I just want that body bad, come on baby, bring it back.
Tomorrow night, catch you there.